start this podcast because it is well past the typical starting time, and we have yet to begin. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is 4Player Podcast. This is actually episode 416. Don't be fooled if you're watching us live. It says 415.
Don't be fooled.
That's Chris Davis's fault.
Ignore that.
My fault.
Ignore that. Chris Davis.
I stepped up and helped out when I shouldn't have been helping out.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. We'll fix it in post. That's neither here nor there. My name is Nick Henderson. Brad Simons is to my right.
With my s'more Pop-Tart, the only way to go when it comes to Pop-Tarts.
Wait,
What?
S'more Pop-Tart?
That's
S'mores?
the only kind of Pop-Tart you'll eat.
No?
There's more to life
other
than that.
Pop-Tarts.
Brown
Like-
sugar and cinnamon
What's
Pop-Tarts
I'm saying,
are the
if
best.
you want a
Basic strawberry
snack
Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart, if you want a snack Pop-Tart, not to eat just during the morning, you got to go with the s'more Pop-Tart.
When I was a kid, my favorite was watermelon Pop-Tarts, cold.
They made watermelon
You,
Pop-Tarts? Interesting.
you had
They
an
did.
imaginary childhood because there is no watermelon Pop-Tart.
Somebody look it up. Those existed. They had pink frosting with green stripes on them. I swear to fucking God.
Watermelon?
Crispy is joining us today.
Hey, what's up, guys?
He is a monster because that sounds disgusting.
It was actually pretty great. You guys just don't even understand.
It's all about the brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tarts or whatever they're called.
Well, yeah, that's the classic. The brown, like the cinnamon sugar. Cinnamon sugar.
That's the only Pop-Tart I will ever.
Cinnamon brown sugar.
That's the only Pop-Tart that will ever part
Oh.
these lips.
Biohunter knows what I'm talking about.
Biohunter has the worst
Maybe you're
taste in
thinking
the world.
Wildberry.
Confirmed.
That's what I'm talking
Wow.
No, Biohunter knows what I'm talking about.
I've tried
Worst
some
taste.
of the new flavors just because the commercials were so
What new flavors?
chocolate straws.
Let me finish introducing.
What?
No one is out this week. In his stead, we have Christopher Davis sitting in.
Yay.
We're going to talk about video games. Am I right, Chris?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. But first, I want to since
Did we bring footage?
yes, never mind. I'm gonna move on. Before we talk about video games, because we're gonna be talking a little bit about Batman: Arkham Knight. We're talking about N++.
Who is Arkham Knight?
Yes,
no.
I forgot to
world
bring it
may
up
never
last
know.
week, but yeah, I played a bunch of the N++ beta, so I'll share
Which
with
is
the
like
good
N++++
people.
or something.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. We don't have a lot of impressions this week that are new to talk about, so let's catch up. Anybody see any movies? Anybody do anything interesting?
We just
No.
talked about our weekend.
No, not at all.
I
I watched.
busy
I
weekend.
watched the Babadook.
Was that
That was
good?
the Babadook.
Wait,
was
was
fucking
it
weird.
was it good?
It was good.
Or was it like all build up and no?
It was good.
Like
I think it's kind of what Crispy described.
No,
Really?
Crispy Watch It is good.
okay.
I'm
Why,
sorry.
why does this
I'm
happen
sorry.
with fucking horror movies? Like, oh man, they're talking about like it's gonna scare me to death, and then like it fucking you don't literally die of fear, and you're like, this is overrated. Why do people do that with horror movies? It's like that with horror movies. Always.
Wait, so what you're saying that it
Happened
was
with
good?
The Ring.
You're saying that it was great, and you're saying that it was kind of meh.
I mean, it's another one of those horror movies that I think falls apart kind of in the last act. But that's just me. That's just me.
That's
Whatever.
every horror movie that's ever
I know,
been
and I
made.
The
wish
movie's
that wasn't
very
the case.
metaphorical.
Yes, it is very metaphorical, but it presents it in a very literal sense.
He's talking down to you.
I know.
He's
I know.
calling you
he
an
thinks,
idiot.
He thinks it went over
He's
my
like-
head.
he's
And
like,
just
well-
because I had to Google the meaning of this movie doesn't
What
mean...
does the Babadook mean?
anyways, let's move on. I would recommend the Babadook.
I'm just saying, overhype happens a lot with horror movies.
It was creepy as
if we're
fuck.
throwing out TV and movie suggestions, I gotta tell people, like, nobody knows that this exists, and it's driving me crazy. But are you guys familiar with Yahoo Screen? It's like Yahoo's video streaming service.
Yes.
Okay, it's fucking terrible, but it happened to be the only place you could watch Community Season 6.
I
They
was
have
gonna say
another.
that.
They have another show on there that's an original to Yahoo Screen. It's the only place you can watch it. It was created by Paul Feig of Freaks and Geeks fame. He's the one doing the Ghostbusters reboot right now.
Yeah.
And it's called Other Space. And it's basically like Star Trek Voyager meets The Office. It's like a bunch of inept like space explorers get sucked into an alternate universe, and it's just like
Isn't there a character on there who was just confirmed to be the villain in the new Ghostbusters?
Yes, the guy who plays Kent Woolworth on Other Space. I can't remember his real name, but he is the quote unquote like villain. I assume he's going to be a Walter Peck type character in the
God,
new
what
Ghostbusters.
if Walter Peck is in the new
Dude, I heard
Ghostbusters?
today. I don't know if this is true, but I heard Chris Hemsworth or not. Chris Hemsworth.
Yes,
Thor is their secretary.
Yes,
That's amazing. That's incredible. Like I love that.
He's gonna be the new Janine.
I get more and more excited for this movie. The more I hear about it, like the more I see it. Yes.
I wonder.
But Other Space is really, really funny. I've watched. There's like 8 episodes, and I've watched every single episode at least 5 times a piece. Already.
Jesus.
It's
Wow.
great. It's good.
How
I
do you
recommend.
find
It.
the time?
Oh, I don't play video games.
Clearly, clearly, you don't play video games.
Well,
Anyways,
you're well suited to
How's
this video game
codename
podcast.
Steam, Crispy?
Oh, dude, I haven't even started.
Motherfucker.
took that on your trip with you, and you
I
never played
did,
it.
and then I was on the airplane and I was like sick, so I didn't feel like doing anything but like trying to pass out. And then I did play a little bit of Luigi's Mansion. I actually got farther in Luigi's Mansion.
I thought you finished that.
No.
Dude,
Let me ask you, have you
haven't
ever
finished
finished a game on a handheld?
On a
about-
handheld?
Think hard.
Well, technically, I did finish the PSP version of Final Fantasy Tactics.
No, that does not count. You did not play that on a handheld.
you son of a bitch. You still haven't finished that amazing, charming ass game, Luigi's Mansion.
I'm like this close.
That
I
game
ain't
was
played it
so
yet.
good. Holy shit.
I haven't played
finished.
it yet.
I finished the main story of Batman today.
Well, you're a monster.
I just got a 3DS, so
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just in a very weird mood.
Hostile.
I'll probably call all of you a monster at some point in this podcast. But anyway, that's a good point of moving on. Let's talk. We talked a lot about Batman Arkham Knight last week. We're going to talk a little bit more about it this week. We've all played more of it. Not all of us have...
Bantam.
What? Not all of us have finished Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh, Ed is calling you out, Nick.
Oh, shit.
Ed, you are fired.
Ed says in
fired
chat.
for saying Luigi's Mansion
no,
is
don't
boring.
fire
We
Ed.
don't actually
We
wanna
need
fire
Ed more than we need
Yes.
Nick.
Yeah, honestly, that's correct.
Aw.
Ed says in
I'm
chat,
joking.
Luigi's Mansion is boring.
Ed is a monster.
I'm joking. Blackjack Julian, to answer your question, it's called Other Space.
Can I please explain the bat boner thing as a
Okay.
lead into this conversation?
Why you were screaming?
The
Bat boner
revelation
all
that
night?
I've had, while when I play Batman, I find myself getting... There's a perfect example of it right there. Let me explain something to you. And it happens in the Batmobile, and it happens when you're flying around, and it happens when you're fighting dudes. I found myself playing this game, of which I played a lot over the past couple of days. In fact, I'm almost done. I think I just have a few more hours left.
You're getting there.
What I've realized, why I get really frustrated playing Batman sometimes when I'm like fighting things or like chasing things in my Batmobile, and that's because for a game that does such a good job making you feel like a complete badass, like maybe more than any other game ever, you feel like Batman. You fucking fly down and like pop, pop, poo, and you just fucking take out everyone. You fly off into the rafters, and you just feel like a complete badass. The game also does a really good job of making you feel like a complete fucking boner. Like, it's so easy to go from badass to boner in this game. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
so boner is a negative connotation.
Well, let me explain.
I
When you're in combat, you're like countering and punching and fucking throwing things and flipping dudes over, and then all of a sudden you miss a counter and you punch the air a little bit and you throw the wrong fucking gadget and some dude like slaps you in the face.
It actually makes the slapping sound.
Exactly. You go from badass to boner like way faster than other
I
games.
kind of wish there were moments where like one of those guys gets a lucky shot in on Batman, and then Batman just like turns up and looks at them. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then you have like a bonus to like fuck them up or something.
Right?
That'd be amazing.
But do you see what I'm talking about? Because like the combat system is very tight. It's very well designed.
Well,
but there are
that's-
so many inputs, and at any point where you kind of like screw that up, like shit can go into boner territory real fucking quick.
Well, I think that's
just
one of
gotta
the
get good.
problems with this game is that it's built for experienced Arkham players, and so you have to go into this game, knowing how to play those other games in order to succeed well. So you're going to
Sure.
have that problem if you're a newbie,
Sure,
or
but-
you're rusty with the system.
But even
But-
experienced Arkham players will feel like a boner at times.
But no, you're right, because it's the way that the game is designed.
But-
it's designed to be very like precise.
But the badass to boner ratio, I think, is fine. Like, I feel like a badass about 95%
Let me
of the time
explain.
I'm
This
playing
isn't a
game.
negative with this game. I'm just explaining why I can feel like a real fucking boner sometimes while playing it. More so than other games. Like, I fuck up in Dark Souls, and it's like, oh man, I'll get him next time. I went for that extra attack when I probably should have backed off. Man, it's cool. I'll get him next time. In this game, like, if I fuck up in a combat scenario, it's because I'm a fucking boner. It's because I'm a goddamn boner, and I countered, you know, too early, and it was like, oh, it was the yellow counter, you know, instead of the fucking
like,
the blue one,
like
and I got slapped in the face, and then I got fucking tackled, and I just feel like an anus.
You had him. You like were the fear of the night for a minute there, and then all of a sudden you just dropped it, and then someone fucking caught you with their college ring. Oh wow! I guess a lot of these thugs are.
And it seems like the game is pretty much determined to say the only way you're going to actually completely feel like a badass 100% of the time is to just get good.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, that's any game,
there's very
but
little leniency.
Leniency. But I mean, sure, but like I'm saying, you know, it's different in this game where you just feel like a wiener, dude. Like when you fuck up, you feel like a boner. Same thing with like the Batmobile, where you have like some fucking epic race. You're drifting around corners and stuff, and then you hit a bad fucking bump and you're upside down, and you just feel like a boner.
What that says about the game though is that it is to a degree a game of skill. To a degree, because a lot of it's automated, but at the same time, the fact that you can fuck up and feel like a boner really is a testament to how much you actually do have to pay attention and how much you do have to be aware of your surroundings in this game in order to continue feeling like a badass. It's just so no one's gonna do 100%.
It's just so counter to like what Batman.
What
is.
I think you're
this
feeling.
Is not a negative.
What I think you're feeling, Brad, is like you were saying in Dark Souls. If you fuck up, like it's kind of just on you. If you fuck up in this game, like you're not just letting yourself down, you're letting like 75 years of Batman legacy
Exactly.
down. Exactly. Like you are letting everybody down. You are letting all of Gotham down when you go and just boner it up.
Bruce Wayne hates you.
Just think about that image of like I'm surrounded by dudes and I thought I was gonna like flip over and fucking stomp his face in, but instead I'm just sort of karate chopping the air because I wasn't quite close enough or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. And you're just like punching the air and there's like some guy throwing a crate at you. Like
I think that's another one of the problems with this game is that the previous games had these challenge maps that you could kind of train yourself on playing, and there really isn't that in this game. There aren't any challenge maps. There's AR challenges, but they're actually pretty limited. So you don't have time to really figure things out.
There is so much going on in this game at any given time. What even outside of the story stuff, there is always something to do in this game. To the point where like the other day, I was like, all right, I'm far behind. I didn't really play it at all this weekend, so I'm gonna try and catch up for the show. I was like, I'm just gonna focus entirely on story quests. I'm gonna go straight from story to story to story to story and just get as far as I can in the main story. And I played for like 3 hours, and I did like one story mission. I feel like it's maybe it's just the kind of gamer that I am when I'm seeing how all this stuff kind of plays out naturally, but like it's impossible for me to just plow through the story in this game. You're always getting distracted. You'll be constant. Flying around, and all of a sudden you hear opera music, and you're like, where is it? Where's the body? And you go down and find it, and then that leads to something else, and then
you see that distance
rabbit hole, man.
You should finish that quest line too. I was pleasantly surprised as to the villain they picked.
That was pretty good.
I plan on finishing every single.
I started thinking, I was like, are they gonna use this guy for this? And then it turned out to be him, and I was like, oh my god.
Well, that's cool.
It's pretty cool. You're gonna be like, what?
But I find a lot of the side stuff in this game to be incredibly enticing and like interesting, and I want to do all of it.
It's definitely a
lot of it is as interesting, if not more intriguing, than what's happening in the main story.
It's definitely a step up from Arkham City.
Yeah. So I saw on Twitter you said something about this might be your new favorite Arkham game.
I mean, well, that's hard for me to say only because like I'm still playing it for the first time. You know, it's like I get caught up in the hype at the moment.
Have you beaten
did play them all?
I have played them all recently.
Yes.
And
how does Asylum hold up?
It's still a great game, but like even having played City and gone back to it, like it feels really.
It looks slow to me.
City was a huge.
You're right. You're not as mobile. You're not like you feel just kind of slower, and God, I plowed through the main story of that game and like It was a lot shorter than I remember.
Of course,
like,
of course.
it was.
This was before
I don't
the
remember.
developers were obsessed with, making all their open world games at least 30 to 40 hours long.
I mean, the thing is, like,
I kind of like that tight, well-designed, well-paced Metroidvania type game that first one was. That's largely gone.
It was.
Like the way they paced out upgrades and how you kind of went back and you looked for secrets with them and stuff too. That stuff is gone. They just sort of kind of tied that into like Riddler trophies.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty
There
much
really
Riddler
is. There is much more of a like sense of progression where it's like, okay, now I'm doing another like Silent Predator sequence, and I feel like there's a new element in every single one. Like every time you get to a story moment in that game where you're doing a Predator sequence, they've added a new enemy type, they've added a new mechanic. It's like, oh well, this time you have to fight the guys who have the night vision goggles. This time you've got the jammer packs. This time you've got the guys who are bombing the gargoyles.
Yeah, but it's gradual and it feels well paced. You know?
It is, and
This
you
I'll
do
go from
kinda,
a fight that's completely easy to like a fight that has just so much fucking bullshit in it.
Yeah. I think I don't know. You're right. It is a trade-off in that
They're very different.
this game does kind of lose some of that like sense of linear progression, but like what you gain, I feel like is completely worth it.
Well, they're very different games. Obviously they're never going to go back to that style of game, but it was really refreshing at the time.
Oh yeah, it was amazing when it came out, and I still think it's an amazing game, and it's one of my favorites. But like having seen like where they've taken the series, it's a completely different beast.
They were going out on a limb with Arkham Asylum. Like
oh yeah.
It was very much a huge risk. You could tell just playing it and seeing where it went that it was a much smaller game in scope.
I mean, if you compare it to any other Batman game or friggin' any other superhero game at the time, it was so radically different.
Yeah, and it still manages to feel radically different, even 4 games deep into the series, I think. I mean, not different necessarily. I mean, we obviously had 3 other games that are very similar.
I would say that it achieves a level of depth that the other games just haven't caught up to yet.
There is no other game series that I can think of, especially with licensed game series that like manages to like capture the tone of its source material so well.
Or just when you're going around the world, there's so much to freaking find just beyond just the side quests and the little trophies.
Let's talk about
looking around the environment, it feels lived in. It feels unique at every turn. Yeah. It's really interesting.
It feels like it was lived in.
Let me ask you though: is this game just City with a Batmobile? Like, where is this game a lot better than City outside of Batmobile?
I don't think it is City because I feel like City has a lot of the meat on City's bones is just kind of like fluff. Like it's just made up fluff.
Dude, like this, like even this right here, like nothing really happens in here. Like I stumbled across the diner from the very beginning of the game.
Yeah,
and like nothing really happens in it. But I remember walking in and just being like, it's part of the world. It feels.
I mean, there's Riddler trophy there. There's a purpose to go in there, but you look around the environment, and you're like, "Holy crap! This is what happened."
Who's the editor? Why? Okay.
You think there's
why
so many
is there
Riddler
200?
trophies?
Well, but that's the thing, right? I didn't play Origins, so I didn't get to complain about it there. My question is, some of them are way more interesting than others. Mm-hmm. Why is there not just 100 Riddler trophies? Well-designed, memorable Riddler trophies.
Well, it goes back.
How come sometimes you just see them sitting there?
It goes back to that issue of padding. Like, if there was 100 of like the best Riddler trophies in the game, yeah, you would like each one would be more memorable, but you would have the Riddler stuff done by the time you finished.
So what? Make the whole thing a little.
Brad, they're trying to. I mean, I wouldn't like. Normally, I feel like I'd fault it, but like there is so much in this game that it's like. Why not? Like for $60, why not give you?
I think
why? Because if there was 100, I'd probably get all the Riddler trophies, and I'm not even going to try.
Well, Brad, the fact that you are on this podcast and you have a lot of games to play, like most people are not in that situation. They want as much as they can get out of every dollar they spend on this game.
Listen, I get it, but like when you're designing a game, I mean, it shouldn't always be about quantity because you want people to be playing your game for 40 hours because you can make a better game if you cut out some of the fluff. You know, you can. The game will actually be better.
I get where you're coming from because like those Riddler trophies go from like truly inspired, like amazing puzzles to just like bullshit of like, okay, hack this console and oh look, trophy, like right there, you know?
Yeah, a lot of them are super easy.
But I don't think like. I feel like the answer isn't just do 100 of them, like just cut out the bullshit ones. I feel like the answer is bring that same kind of like inspiration and that same kind of ingenuity to more of the trophies.
I would say that you got to have a middle ground between that. Yes, you have a less than the 243 that's in the game, but not the 100. I think you need to kind of pace them out better throughout the game, because in Asylum and City and to a degree in Origins, when Riddler trophies were unlocked, they also followed with the progression of your equipment in the game and just what you discovered and what you could do later on. And that's like really not that much the case in Arkham Knight. Yeah. I mean, most of
less of that, like...
Yeah, they're scattershot across the city.
There's less of that story progression. And remember, there are fewer trophies in this game than there were in City.
Sure.
The thing is,
Origins.
Like, I'll say this, like, a lot of the reason it feels different because of what Chris Davis said in this game is, like, I feel like the progression of the story in this game feels way more organic than previous games. Yeah. Like, I don't always feel like I'm, like there is obviously a main story that you're following and it's kind of directing you down this path, but like so much of the story and so much of the world that you take in is just stuff that happens that you discover, and you may unlock certain abilities in a different order just because there's so many different abilities to unlock and upgrade that like they can't really build the progression of the Riddler trophies around when you get this ability. All of a sudden, like the next few that you get are going to be taking advantage of using that ability because they never like a lot of times.
There were ones for the longest time where I was like, when am I going to get the freeze grenade to do this challenge?
Yeah,
and I didn't realize the freeze grenade was sitting on a desk somewhere, and I just hadn't gone and picked it up.
Yeah,
like,
or like the remote charge.
Are we ever going to get an open world game that isn't trying to be really bloated in the effort to like make the game last long? Because there's something to be said about just a really well, like, you cut out all the crap and everything's great. You know, like Resident Evil 4 or like a Half-Life game or like a Metal Gear Solid game or like the older Metal Gear Solid games. I mean, who knows about Metal Gear Solid 5? But I think why are that open world games obsessed with this?
It's because you have the general philosophy of if you're going to build a world that's large, you want the player to explore all of that world, so you got to put something in there.
I mean, it's true.
Like, I don't think Red Dead necessarily is a game that I feel is particularly bloated. I feel like just about everything you did in that game had purpose. There was a lot of it, but like I feel like almost everything in that game had a purpose, whether it was
maybe, but Red Dead came out in an era before like the Ubisoftification of these open world games, where it was all about having hundreds of checkboxes in each area.
Well, at the same time too, like I encourage you to go back and play City again, because that is like half an open world game.
Yeah,
and it's good what's there, especially I think the main story scenario in City was good. A lot of the side quest stuff is completely pointless, and I feel like they've gotten to a point where they're ready to make Arkham Knight. They finally have the technology to make this giant open world game, put the Batmobile in, like add all these different side quests, actually give some depth to a lot of the gameplay. And yeah, maybe they went a little overboard with it, but like I would much rather have this than another kind of like another kind of like a lot of the content in Arkham City, where a lot of it was just filler to make me feel like I was playing gameplay, and I really wasn't doing anything.
So we keep talking about the Riddler trophies. I don't think the Riddler trophies stuff feels like filler, but there's like fucking 30 different of those landmine missions.
And that stuff is a little crazy. I mean, anything with like the Batman tank sections, like they definitely went a little overboard with that. That should have been something where it was like later in the game, he was like, okay, I got an upgrade for the Batmobile, and now I can enter in combat mode, and like maybe do it 1 or 2 times, and like make a big bombastic like scene of it, but don't make that like a core of the gameplay.
No, I would say it could be a core of the gameplay. Just it shouldn't be in there as frequently.
No, sure, but I mean, like
instead of like 30 mine missions, maybe make it 10.
My point is that when I'm using the Batmobile and I'm like into it, it's when I'm doing like the pursuit mode stuff. when I'm tooling around the city, crashing into buildings, firing the immobilizers, like chasing people down.
The hover tank stuff is
that
the
shit's
lame
cool.
shit.
The hover tank stuff is what is overdone and dry. Like,
And they just keep coming.
Okay.
The thing I just wanted to mention about the environments when you compare with Arkham City, you know, comparing the open world nature of both games, I agree. Chris has it right. It's half an open world game. If you compare the side quests and the things you did in Arkham City, most of them were off in their own little sections of the map. They were interior spaces or they were something completely separate. If you actually just go through Arkham City and you explore just the base environment, the open world, there's not a whole lot to find there. But at least, I'm feeling with this game, it feels like there's a lot to find.
Yeah,
there is a lot
and
to
the side
find.
quests actually are engaging, and they actually have like a satisfying payoff. Like I'm thinking of like the identity thief killer side quest in Arkham City, like that.
Yeah.
That was disappointing as shit. Like it was literally like investigating 3 bodies, following a trail, and then they gave you a cutscene at the end that gave you no closure whatsoever on that character or that storyline.
Like in this game in particular, like some of them are really long and drawn out, and they're really satisfying, but some are like really short and really satisfying. Like I did one last night just that was like a one-off, and if you've done I think it's right after you do the
Which actually ties into that identity killer.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I did that one.
so you know
Which
after
was a
you,
satisfying conclusion.
That was cool.
but like after you've done the movie studio sequence in this game, there's just like a quick one-off mission. Is it required or is it optional? I think it's optional.
It's got to be required.
No, because it's not like
Considering the nature of it.
It's required if you wanna get like the Gotham's Most Wanted, but like you can progress the story without it.
And like
Yeah,
that's weird.
it was such a small little thing, but it was one of the coolest for me. It was one of the coolest like moments in the game, like
Yeah,
that
it
I've had
was-
so far. It was a really intimate sequence that just happened between a couple characters in a quiet room, and it was just like
And it was
Well,
a,
it was
with
also
a-
a sequence that you never thought that would
I
come
didn't
up.
see it coming. I
and
never
it was
saw
a
it
great
coming.
bit of storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that was really cool. And one thing that's really kind of blowing me away in this game that is just like
I do
all
not.
the little things that I'm noticing that change throughout the game. And then we talked last week about the Joker's role in the game. So like, but like as you progress, you start to see things around the city kind of changing in like really interesting, unique ways. And you like a lot of times you may not even notice them. But like posters will change, statues will change. Like you'll
Yeah.
see things all over town that have been like painted with like red, lipstick or makeup or whatever to look like the Joker, and just like, you know it's not real, but it's I don't know. That stuff is so cool.
Yeah.
And like all the little things they do, where like all of a sudden he's in the room with you, and then like you pan the camera around, and when it pans back, it's just gone.
My favorite moments are
Rocksteady.
my favorite Joker moments are like when I see him off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like they're really not trying to make you focus on it, but you see him.
But it's there. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
there, and you're like, this game's fucky.
Yeah.
This game is screwing with
I
me.
mean, Rocksteady they've never been slouches about paying attention to detail. I mean, even in the first Arkham game, like the Riddler stuff in the first Arkham game was incredibly awesome because the majority of it were those visual like riddles where he'd give you an actual riddle and you had to go take a picture of something in the environment.
Yeah.
And the answers to those were always like just these really cool, sometimes like super obscure, like Batman references. They littered these wonderful little like monuments to Batman history
They're-
all over the game.
One of my favorites in Arkham Asylum.
And finding them was so much fun.
Oh no, it was. One of my favorites in Arkham Asylum was a puzzle where you have to go to the morgue, and if you check one of the open drawers, it has a toe tag that says Ra's al Ghul, and you take a picture of it, but you can come back later and it's gone. The body's gone. It's not there.
That's cool.
That's
See,
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think all these games, regardless of regardless of which ones are like you consider the best or the worst, whatever.
Origins.
I mean,
Origins
even though Origins sucks, like they all have like little moments like that. They all have little details like that.
I
that are
love
really
scrubbing through videos.
The video footage. Oh man, I
The
was
video
watching you
footage.
play.
Oh.
I was watching you play last night with the keypad.
Oh, that was so cool.
The problem with the way you did it, which kind of frustrated me, and it's not that you were wrong, it's that you figured out the mirror thing really quickly. Yeah. It took me a minute to like notice that there was a mirror on the wall, so when I started scrubbing through, I saw him hit the first number, and then he turns around and the camera is like, and like blocks it. I'm like, oh, you fucker! You fucker! Like, yeah, and then you're like, oh, there's a mirror over there, and you turn it, and you can get the rest of the...
Is that new or is that in Origins?
They didn't...
No,
they
Origins
did
had the hologram stuff.
Yeah, that was
they
the
had
crime scene
holographic crime
investigation.
scene.
But they didn't do the video footage.
I don't think they did.
Well, the thing is,
There's so much cool shit in this game. I'm telling you, there is more puzzle. Like the best part of this game, like all the Riddler stuff. That shit was cool. Puzzle solving,
Dude.
that's not even in games anymore.
The Riddler hostage stuff in Arkham City was some of the best stuff in any of these games.
In Arkham City?
In Arkham City, yeah,
Yeah.
where he captured the EMT workers and he put each of them in like a Saw style like death trap, and when you solved enough riddles, he'd give you the location of
like
one of
talking
them.
about this is making me realize that there's a lot that I don't remember about Arkham City
Yeah,
or,
me
or
too.
Asylum or even Origins. Like
I mean, that was like 2011, right?
2012.
2010, I think, was Arkham City.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Still,
it came
that
out in
was
2010.
a long
Well,
time
the first
ago,
one was
so.
2008.
He also had a game to buffer.
Origins came out really
shit.
quick after.
Dude, it's been
guess
4
it was,
years.
huh?
It's been 4 years. Over 4 years.
5
since-
years?
I'm ready for Rocksteady to do something new, and I don't even think it should be a fucking comic
I think
book
it's
character. I want them to make an original IP because it gets frustrating when you see someone talented like wrapped up
what's
in
the
a
other-
franchise.
2011.
Like Guerrilla's not even. You know, it's not even like those Killzone games were even that great, but it was so refreshing to see them do something new. And I think Rocksteady fucking deserves it because, you know, like you said, the attention to detail, they really know what they're fucking doing. I'm just wondering, are they ever going to do a game where you're not rescuing firemen? Because, you know, before they did the Batman games, they did Urban Chaos Riot Response, and that was all about helping police officers and firemen. It's like they're obsessed with that or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that is one of the draws and one of the things people complain about, you know, leading up to this game was that there wouldn't be any civilians on the streets. But they've
which is
got to have
frustrating.
something to fill in as a hostage, you know, for a gameplay element. So firefighters, the way it has its side quests and it sets itself up, I think it's fair.
I think this is the first time with the event where the like empty streets didn't seem totally ridiculous because like Arkham Origins, their excuse for the streets being empty was like it's
There's a curfew.
It's a curfew and
Everyone's
it's Christmas
inside.
and everyone's inside.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that
And they also-
city felt so fucking dead.
Asylum and City didn't have this problem because they were all supposed to be set inside of like a prison or asylum or whatever.
Yeah.
There was no reason for there to be civilians.
But I think Rocksteady found a pretty good
Middle ground?
middle ground.
There's enough going on in the city that, you know, anywhere, like, if you just get in your Batmobile and start driving around, like, you're gonna find somebody to fight very quickly.
Yes.
I would say the one thing I just want to address is that we might be doing a review for this game. But what I wanted to say was, so I finished the game. Chris, have you finished the game?
If you're,
I
if
finished
you-
the main quest.
Be careful what you say, bro.
I finished the main quest today. I'm not done with the game. Like,
Okay.
I do want to get like the full ending.
I mean, all I wanted to say was they one of the biggest things they marketed with this game was a season pass with 6 months of DLC content.
Yeah.
And the first of it comes out next week with a story about Batgirl prior to Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
Based on the way they did this story, I'm not going to throw any spoilers out there, but I'm really cautious and yet optimistic about the way they're going to handle this story content that's coming forward. It's,
Boo DLC.
I mean, DLC can be great. It really can be. And
Warner
I
Brothers?
think Rocksteady can, and Rocksteady and Warner Brothers Montreal, I think that's who it's doing it, can create
Wait, they're doing the
something really,
DLC? Warner Brothers Montreal is doing the DLC?
Yeah.
Always a
Yeah.
B team doing
Oh,
DLC,
well,
man.
they did
Well, you gotta
Origins.
expect that. I mean, look at a fucking Call of Duty game, how they do DLC for that. But
I mean, there's already been 2 pieces of DLC content, technically.
I'm
for the
just
game.
really hoping that they fill in
Those
some of the
bad. They were
things that
terrible.
just aren't talked about or are just flat out not mentioned or addressed in the core of
Yeah,
Arkham
that's
Knight.
what.
Like,
That's my
But
problem.
I don't think they.
Well, that-
I can't address it without saying
Well, that's my
massive
problem.
spoilers. So
That's my problem with the way they're doing it right here. In that, literally,
Booster gold. That's what we need.
Oh,
We need a bit of booster gold in our lives.
Do
But-
you really?
The problem I have with doing the DLC structure like this and the season pass is that ultimately, especially since they're releasing it so close, like a lot of the stuff is gonna feel like it was just left out of the game.
Well, I mean, with the Batgirl stuff, I mean, this is like a prequel to Arkham Asylum, somewhere between
Yeah.
Origins and Asylum. So it's going to be its own contained story, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to play the Batgirl DLC.
But I mean, if it's
Just because
like,
they have Rocksteady has managed to make characters that I have otherwise been completely uninterested in interesting in the
I'm just-
series.
I'm just
but
kind
that's,
of
I mean,
worried-
that's just from a person who doesn't really follow the.
Like I'm not trying to shirk like
You're
Rocksteady's like contribution to this world and these characters, but I mean I think those characters already would have been interesting to you.
I mean,
you know, from other sources.
well, the thing is,
the thing that bothers me in thinking about it is that I remember back to Arkham City where they had the Catwoman Day 1 DLC, which was like its own freaking third long expansion of content.
pre-order deals.
And I'm worried that that's going to be part of the season pass content, and I'm also worried that there's going to be a lot of epilogue content, so you get the true story, the true ending to the game, if you buy the fucking DLCs.
and literally all I was trying to say is that like a character like Robin has just historically been a character that I have just not hated, but like I really like when they
Robin
when
in
they
this
first started
game.
talking about. I think it was, when did they first bring him into the game? Was it Arkham City? When they first introduced?
Robin's the first time they show him, yeah. Or I mean, Arkham City is the first time
So
they show
like
Robin.
they started talking about like, introducing Robin into the fray, and I've always been like, "Ooh, Robin is really easy to fuck up. Like you could like that is a character if done right could be cool, and I'm sure like I don't follow the character in the comics too closely, but like historically speaking, that characters can be tricky, and I was really worried about them introducing it. But every character that they've done in this game, whether it's a side character, supporting character, or a villain or whatever, but 90% of them have been interesting.
I mean,
or
I don't
awesome
think there's
in
any
some way.
poorly implemented characters in this game at all.
I can't.
Keep thinking, because
Two-Face, he sucks. Let's move on.
All right, let's move on from Batman.
okay.
What I will say is this: if you have, if you
I like
y'all,
Two-Face.
if you guys want to share your thoughts on Batman, please visit the forum thread on 4playernetwork.com. Let us know what you think. We're going to be putting together a review. We're actually going to be trying something new with our video reviews, starting with Batman. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Should be interesting. But before we go to break, Brad,
Yes.
you've been doing drugs.
What?
Remember?
You're addicted
Are we
to-
doing this now?
Yeah.
Is this an intervention?
This
Yeah.
is, I guess.
Brad, we need to
No,
talk to you.
like I
You're in a
actually,
semi-safe place.
I actually played this a couple weeks ago, but I forgot to bring it up on the last podcast because we were talking about Batman, and I was excited about her story, and I just kind of forgot about it. That's what happens when you take a week off. Like this, I played it that week that we didn't have a podcast, so it's been a while, and I played through all the levels, but I had been playing in plus the beta. And I just wanted to talk about it because it's really good. Cue the footage, Mr. Davis.
Oh, sorry. I got it. I got precise timing I have to maintain here.
Well, by the way, why wasn't the Batman footage in like theater mode or whatever? Is that
I didn't have time to set it up,
Okay.
and I was
Chris
relying on Nick
Davis
for the
goof.
footage. I was relying on
what
Nick for the
what
footage.
a Jew.
That's 2 strikes tonight. I'm just
Really?
What a goof.
Run you through with this freaking pen.
Wow, that's dark.
Sexual.
So
That's okay. I approve of this. That was very metal of you to say.
everything in M Plus is so little, and now it's even more little on this little screen.
And
the TV
that's
on the other side of
Nick's
the room.
fault.
Yeah, what the
so
fuck
there
is
you
this?
go.
What's going on?
I just
This
did
is
what you
M
asked.
Plus.
Are you
okay?
that spec that just blew up?
I'm a ninja. N stands for ninja. You're trying to get to the exit. You've never has anybody here played M Plus?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Super Meat Boy, but the controls are a lot deeper. I should say, a lot more refined. I
Yeah,
mean,
you jump.
The amount of like movement in various types of movement. Everything is very physics
It's
based.
floaty too.
Very physicsy, but very precise. I mean, you could do some amazing shit in this game. It's the kind of thing where when you first start playing it, you can barely like run up the side of a wall, but that becomes like a joke to someone who really knows what they're doing. Like that jump right there, Nick, you couldn't do if I just handed you a controller.
I'll take that bet.
If you've never played M Plus,
Would you
dog?
give me a hot
Hot
dog?
dog bet.
Hot dog bet.
yeah, sure, maybe we'll do that. We'll test that later.
All right.
But it is a very high skill ceiling game, and you know, like
my
M Plus,
God.
there's a lot of really nasty levels.
So they went with like a different
That's an
visual
understatement.
style in this game, didn't they?
Well, no, they didn't go with a. Well, yeah,
it's all white and blue now.
No, it's not. You
Question.
can actually change the colors.
Yeah.
thank
This
God.
is just one of many colors you can choose from.
Is this-
I'll change here in a second.
Is this still set up where you have to complete like a series of rooms
Yes.
in order to progress?
Which is one of the most challenging. So you know, like Super Meat Boy, you get through that one tough level, and you're done. Well, in this game, you have so you see all the little specks of yellow? That's gold.
Oh, I see them.
The lore says it's gold, and you want gold.
Whoa,
But
whoa,
it
whoa,
boosts
whoa,
your
whoa, whoa, whoa. Back the fuck up. Did you say the lore?
In M+, there is a single paragraph of text explaining the story behind this game.
And we're gonna
it's
go
like, you're a
ahead
ninja, you want gold.
And we're
get
gonna go ahead and
gold.
designate
There-
this lore.
There's already more lore in this than Bloodborne.
It's basically the same story as Cowboys versus Aliens.
Everybody stop for a second. That's 3 strikes, Chris Davis. You are officially ejected from this podcast.
So Nick,
You get the hell out.
so Nick, look at the top of the screen. You see that big yellow bar that's going down? That's actually a timer.
Oh, fuck this game.
It's not.
Well,
It's not,
saying.
it's not as bad as you think it is. Trust me. I'm the most nervous when it comes to timers, and I beat all the levels of M+, and I probably will of this game as
Wait,
well.
did M Plus have a timer as well?
But the timer
Oh.
is just motivation for you to collect the gold shit. Now the thing is, none of the levels are actually very long, and along the way they kind of put the gold pieces in places that might be a little tricky. Like some levels are very easy unless you're trying to get some gold pieces. Now really, like I never see like how I just pass those up. I don't even care because you actually have a lot of time to get through these levels, but they are a set, and that same timer is tied to all 5 levels. So you don't just beat one level, you have to beat a set of levels, and if you ignore constantly, like if you're ignoring all gold on the way to like that, by the time you get to that final level, you might have very little time on the timer. But I feel like it's never to the point where you can't beat a level. It just means that you might have to do a hard level really fast. You know, at the end of it. Like that happened to me during the beta where I got to a really difficult level and I had 4 seconds to beat the level. But that just means I had to collect all the gold along the way and be really precise. Like most of the time, I'm not even really thinking about it.
Wait,
It's
were
not,
you able to beat that level in 4 seconds?
Yeah, I finally did it.
In 4 seconds?
Well, no, because there was gold in that stage and it added to the timer.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, don't let the timer stress you out. Now the individual difficulty, I mean the difficulty of an individual level, yeah, that's where the game is very, very fucking challenging, as you can probably see here. The
just
little
when
specs.
they implement like the missile launchers and the
Oh my
lasers
God.
and
so that stuff is really nasty. One of the new things they implemented in this game that's going to be the death of me, which is absolutely maddening, is they have this like these little portals that when you touch, it creates a copy of yourself, and that copy starts
I saw that.
following the exact pattern you've gone. So
Imagine the
and if you
ghost
touch
from a
it, you
Mario
die.
game. Imagine the ghost from a Mario game, except if you touch it, it kills you.
So I hit this portal and I jump. There's now a copy of myself following me in that exact same pattern, and if I slow down and stop, it's gonna catch up to me and kill me. But where it gets really tricky is where you run across to the end of the stage, you hit a portal, and now you have to go back to the other side to hit another switch. But when you're going back, you now have to dodge your previous self
So it's like
that you've created.
It's like It Follows.
Yeah, it's yeah.
If you stop moving, it's gonna get you.
Well,
I will
That's
say
true,
this.
yeah.
I'll say this. Fuck this game.
the thing is, it's really fun because
I know it's fun.
because the controls are so refined. I mean, when you pull something off, like it feels truly satisfying. And it's a little more spontaneous than like a Meat Boy where you will do the same thing over and over again. There's a lot of factors like what Chris said, like the heat-seeking missiles, where you can't always predict what angle they're coming from. So it's just like jazz, man. You just gotta kind of be on your game. You just gotta be able to good at it, and you just gotta be able to react, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to survive. And the controls are so well designed to where it can actually support that kind of play.
So can I just ask? This is N++. We've already
Yes.
hit N+. We already have an N, right?
In was its
Like the
original,
original
like Flash game.
Flash, yeah. Why is a beta necessary for this game?
Okay, so the reason there's a beta is because there is you remember Little Big Planet? You can make
Yeah.
your own stages. Well,
Yeah.
that's in this game as well.
Oh.
So the beta allows you to play all these user-created levels too. And I've already seen levels. So like one of the new mechanics is like a little like if you go through this little like certain type of tile, it launches you forward.
Yeah.
So I've already seen the Rube Goldberg style stages where the name of it's called Don't Press Anything, and you see your character getting flung around and bounced around through all these crazy fucking things with like missiles and shit flying everywhere, and it looks like the most impossible thing ever, but because it's all like pre-planned and scripted, like the dude just flies and bounces through the level, and it's not when you play, but it's just so fucking remarkable to see. It's just really fun, just like it was in Little Big Planet.
That's cool.
And just like we'll probably see a lot of those stages in Mario Maker as well.
God, I hope so. That was one of my favorite things about the automated Marios from several years back. Just they were some incredible things that were made.
Yeah. So, and I think there's going to be a lot of really cool stages. My concern is that it might become like trials, and all the highest rated stages are just the ones that are just fucking impossible. I mean, that's how it is in trials with the user created stuff. But I think there is a lot of sorting options, so you can sort by like hardest difficulty. The thing is, every stage has to be beatable before you upload it, I believe.
Do you explode if you touch the purple in this level?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are
Well,
mines.
there's little landmines. Again, they're hard to see, but honestly, it's more in plus. I will say this: like, it's a much more refined looking game. And I know you look at these simplistic graphics and you're probably like, yeah, whatever, but it's in the details, like with the animations and the little visual like flourishes they've added to this game.
I mean, you
it's
really don't need it.
It's a much nicer looking game than the first game, and the biggest improvement of all is this game. And like the first game, the soundtrack was not even like, I just had fucking the God Hand soundtrack playing in the background. But this game has incredible music, and it just keeps going from song to song as you like play a level over and over and over again. It's just going through like song after song after song.
Does it have Holla Back Girl?
Well, no, but I wish it did.
Then I don't want anything to do with it.
But
What is a hollerback girl?
this game, for a game that's so challenging, it is surprisingly chill just because the soundtrack is so fucking chill.
Would you do me a favor?
What's that?
Could you look up the credits and find out who was the composer?
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm curious.
Maybe not right now.
Well, yeah, later, but still.
Anyways, it looks cool. Maybe I'll give that a shot. I played a little bit of N+, and
like I said,
fun.
It has a high skill ceiling in terms of like getting down, like movement down.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, but there was just a certain part of me. I was just like, if I stick with this, I'm just not going to play anything else, and I'm just going to get really frustrated. I feel like there's like a high barrier to
there's
entry.
one thing that's really great though. So like one of the most maddening things about the original N+ for me is because you had to beat a set of 5 levels before you beat it and you could save the game.
Yeah.
There were moments where I started like a set, at a reasonable hour, and I was up until like 5, 6 in the morning pulling my hair out because I'd gotten through like the 3rd stage in a set of 5 that was so fucking impossible. I just knew I had to beat the last 2 because there was no way I was going to go back and do them all again.
Yeah.
But in this game,
Horrible.
this game has the same problem, but
That's a game holding you hostage.
you can suspend your PS4 now.
Oh,
So
God.
I can go to sleep or work, and it doesn't have to ruin my life. Now, if I want to play The Witcher, I got to beat those fucking levels. But at least I can stop playing the game finally.
That does it. If we ever come over here and you see Brad's PS4 in sleep mode, just pull the plug.
Yeah. Yeah, no. If you ever turn on my PS4 and I'm in the middle of an N+ level, leave it the fuck alone. But yeah. It's how
Close
modern
application.
technology has made a game better.
Instead of the game making
I do
itself
love.
better.
I do like. So like last night I was playing Batman, and I usually talk to my girlfriend before she goes to bed. So like I was playing, and she was like, "All right, can I call you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Fuck!" I'm like right in the middle of a mission. I just paused it, and I completely forgot about. Like I put it in rest mode, and I went and then I went there, and I came back like an hour later, and I was like, "Fuck!" Now I gotta wait for the whole thing to boot back up. Fucking just jumps me right back into the mission, like that. I fucking love that shit. I think it's like the best thing to happen.
It's the fucking future, guys.
It's the fucking future.
Love it.
The Xbone has that, right?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
That was one of its. The
shows you
PS4
just-
didn't have it for the longest
Oh.
time, actually.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
you
so
know
PS4
the
did.
Xbone has backwards compatibility?
Mm-hmm. Play
Yeah.
Mass Effect at 10 frames a second.
Just
anyone
like
tried
you
that
did
out
back in the day.
Has anyone tried that yet?
You
well,
got to be
have
a
be in
preview member
in
to do it.
Oh, fucking Microsoft!
The best part about it is actually as not the retail games, it's all the
Why weren't
Xbox Live Arcade games.
Why weren't they pulling a Sony and handing out like free trials to that at the conference?
Yeah,
just like
for
out
real.
the door. Remember that year the PlayStation Plus shit? They were just
Yeah.
I was finding them on the ground. I had like a year's worth of PlayStation Plus just because I was finding them on the fucking floor on the way out of the building.
It's fine.
It's pretty great. Anyways, we're gonna take a break,
We are?
and yeah, right. It's
I mean, I
break
guess
time.
we could.
Yeah.
We're 52 minutes in.
Yes, we are 52 minutes in, and that's time to take a break.
We have nothing to talk about.
And when we come back, we have some news, and I'm sure Chris Davis is going to be taking us through the community this week.
I can do that, yeah.
All right,
We'll just make
I've
up
done it
this week.
before. And I
You-
did it real well, actually.
you did it fantastically. I'm just saying, you're already at 3 strikes tonight.
Yeah, like you're already out. Like, you have nothing less to left to lose.
Might as well. I didn't even get to talk about my game that I played, so.
Wait,
What did you
didn't-
play?
You didn't.
You
tell
played
me.
a game?
Yeah, I played.
How come
Imagine
you don't
that.
tell us
Do
anything
you have
before the
footage?
show
I
starts?
put it in the show notes on the docket.
When did you
Oh,
have
you
this?
played Portal.
Yeah.
Portal Stories Mel.
Portal Stories Mel.
Damn it. Well, if I knew that, maybe we wouldn't have talked
Do you
so
have
long
footage?
about Batman.
No, because it was just going to be a mention for a few minutes.
Oh.
Okay, well then go ahead. You know what?
Sure,
what?
go
Fuck
for it. Is
Go
it
ahead.
cool?
It's
I
really
can't believe
cool.
we're talking
It's-
about Portal.
So this
No,
is,
this
it's,
is
it's a
DLC,
Portal 2
or
mod.
it's mod.
It started development a month after Portal 2 came out, and it just recently finished production. And it's gotten a little bit of press hype, so I
Yeah.
figured I'd try it out.
Yeah.
And so I broadcasted it while you weren't available on Friday.
Yeah.
And
I was not available on Friday.
this is pretty fucking cool. They put a lot of production work into this.
So what's
Is
the,
there like voice acting and stuff?
There's voice acting. There's brand new models, textures. It starts out like in 1952, at the height of Aperture Science, and there's a voice actor for Cave Johnson and a bunch of different characters.
Is it J.K.
And you
Simmons?
it's not J.K. Simmons.
No! No!
Well, a mod can't exactly
Yeah.
afford
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons,
Yeah.
but
Did they even try?
I mean, it starts out. It kind of wants to tell itself like a parallel story to Portal 2. It starts out in 1952, then it goes to the future, and you
Wait,
deal
does
with
it all take place inside the like?
It takes
chamber?
place inside an Aperture Science facility. There's
How
no
can you
real
tell what
mention
time
that whether or
period
not
it
it's the actual, same facility that happens in Portal and Portal 2.
How do you know what year it is? Does it just tell you this is
It says
1952?
it's very far in the future, and then you
It
eventually
says
get
it like
into-
that in game. 1952, the height of science.
Yeah, basically.
Is it good? I mean,
It's
hard.
good. It is hard.
See,
The thing is that it's harder, in my opinion, than any of the puzzles in all of Portal 2 combined.
that's
but-
fucking horrible.
I
But
already figured
it's
those out.
because they add a couple new mechanics and ideas. So you had the emancipation grids, those blue grids that you go through, and they disabled the portals that you had in the previous area. Okay,
Pretty sure they were called Emancipation.
they've grill
That's
whatever.
4 strikes. I'm sorry.
Well, they add a new one in here, a red one, that if you go through, it actually kills you. A red emancipation grid. So you go through. If you touch it, it actually instantly kills you. You get to restart the puzzle. And then they
So why
add
not
new
just
concepts.
avoid those things?
Can you shoot through them?
It's how they. No, you can't do that either. It's how they build these levels around these new ideas. Like there was an insanely hard. I had a couple developers of the mod in chat helping me out with this. Okay,
we haven't even figured this out.
no, they were telling me
Maybe
that
if we
there
maybe
was
we can
one
work
puzzle.
through this together.
There was one puzzle in which they hated one of the devs that came up with it. In which one of the ideas was that you actually had to keep one portal in a specific position and then move another one around through several of the emancipation grids, and then you had to go back to the other one and leap through it as a laser's going through it, and it's bonkers. It is bonkers cool. But
I think Chris
hard.
has a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does Portal Stories Mel follow the same trend of Portal 2, where like as it progressed, it was just removing portals from the game?
Removing portals?
Yeah, Portal 2, like, by the end of that game, you're not really doing much with portals. And when you are, it's like, there's
You were
one
doing a
tiny little
lot.
square where you can drop a portal.
Yeah. That's one of the
And
reasons I
most
like
of
the
it,
first Portal.
most
better.
of it was like the fucking the aerial platforms and the gels.
The
and
goo.
this
Well,
and
I mean,
that.
after 5 hours, you know, they said I was only halfway through, so I can't speak to like, yeah, it's fucking quality.
But you're
what we got
using
here.
Portal.
But yeah,
throughout
I'm
that
using
entire
portals the
time.
entire time.
You're telling me there's still
And it's-
portals in the game?
Yes, and it's
10 hours long.
and it's integrating all the things that you learned and used in Portal 2 to enhance the puzzles that are in
Okay,
there.
so but here's my little mini rant.
There's always got to be one.
When you give players the chance to kind of like do it themselves, you know, like I was giving you an example of like M+ levels or Trials levels. Like they're like, oh well, you know what? I can make a level that's fucking impossible, but I can do it because I play this every day of my fucking life. Like, and when Portal 2 released the tools to kind of make your own levels,
Yeah.
all of like so much of that stuff was just this impossible puzzle solving
they're-
bullshit.
it's
I don't
not-
want to play something that I'm staring at for hours.
I mean, I think at least in my opinion, one of the few problems that I had was that it had been so long since I played Portal 2 that I was unfamiliar with some of the mechanics that were left there.
This was to ease you into it.
There really isn't that much of an ease you into it.
So the pacing is off.
The pacing is a little off. It took me a while to
Maybe you should
remember
play Portal
just
2
how
and then just
momentum
go
kind of
straight
works
into
sometimes. Yeah, I would say that. I would say exactly that.
But if you don't want to play Portal 2 again,
This is free, right?
Yeah, it's free. It's a
oh
free
well, that's
mod.
the best part of it right there.
I'm gonna
No.
play this. I think I'm gonna play this, but I'm gonna forget about it. Hey,
It's-
somebody out there, remind me. Don't let me forget about this game because I would like to play it.
But I would say it's just the problem, the difficulty curve from the game stems from just grasping these ideas that were easily possible in Portal 2 and Portal to an extent. You just weren't familiar with them and you never really used them. So they've integrated them into this game to where you have to rethink just how you played Portal 2 in a way.
See,
But
that-
it's really fun.
I'm interested to see what you're talking about.
There was
Because I really have no
in
idea.
the 5 hours you've played, how many puzzles did you?
I think I did like maybe 10.
Oh,
Jesus
Christ.
Because I mean, it's not like the test chambers specifically. There are the standard test chambers in there, but then there's also that linear story progression of you have to get from point A to point B,
Okay.
and you've got these semi puzzles that you have to figure out in order to progress.
Well, that sounds a little bit like Portal 2. That
guys
Portal
remember-
2 had that.
There's a puzzle in there that is a test chamber that you have to put 3 blocks down, 3 buttons, or 2 buttons and a laser to activate the door to exit the area. The simplest one that you think is going to work is complete fuck you to the player. It's trolling you. You have to connect a laser from one launcher to a receiver, and they're right next to each other. But there's a movable wall that's in the middle of the way.
Yeah.
But if you connect the portals to where it goes from that movable wall to the other one, what it does is that it removes that wall, but because you remove a wall, it disables that portal. So it's instantly trolling you and it just goes back to the way it was. So you've got to figure out this kind of route in which you move the laser through these portals and how to get to different places.
See, SMG
really
in
have to
chat
think.
says you got to remember it's a mod for Portal, and they take the stance that you've played the game before. But
Absolutely.
what I think they're really taking the stance is you should have recently played Portal.
That's how I feel about that.
I always. Do you guys remember in Portal 2 when Wheatley takes over the testing center and then? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that game didn't come out 3 years ago. My point is, he starts making his own tests, and they're all like terrible. They're all like, hit the button, and you hit the button. He's like, yay! That's what I always think Portal mods are gonna be. Like,
This sounds
I
like the
always,
exact opposite of that, though.
I know, but like,
No, but just
you're
beyond.
saying that it is like.
I just want some
It's-
other
it is-
confirmation
it
from
is-
somebody else. Like, is it really hard?
All right, here's
Or is
the
it
problem.
hard for Chris
Okay, here's the
Davis?
problem with talking about Portal, especially talking about difficult Portal, like more difficult
Don't
levels
feel-
of Portal, is it's hard to explain that shit.
Yeah.
You gotta see it. You gotta see what you're talking about. So I would encourage people. Are you done broadcasting?
I'm gonna try and broadcast it on Thursday again. I want to get further into
So
it.
I would
Yeah, we
recommend
should have
watching.
gotten footage of
But I mean, yeah, I thought it was just gonna be a quick mention. I didn't realize.
That's
it was gonna
5
be comment.
strikes, and you know what that means.
5 strikes.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know
Apparently
either.
we're at 5 strikes. Anyways,
Before we
But
go to break,
I just want to say the production values are really cool in
gonna
this.
check it out.
There are remember the vitrification chambers, the ones that were just the ones that had J.K. Simmons, having a candid line about, like the Mantis DNA. Be prepared to fight human Mantis. You know when the test will start. That's in here. They made those fucking things, and then they have references to Half-Life and the Borealis, and there's just it's a love letter to
Borealis.
Portal. It's really good.
is that some Half-Life 2 shit?
Get your fucking
That's like-
Half-Life shit out of my Portal.
They're integrated. They're one and the same.
Fuck you.
David Borealis.
All right. Sorry, you said before we go to break.
Just real quick. This is an actual quick mention.
Egg
Chris Davis.
Okay.
Is I finally finished Splatoon. That final boss was redonkulously long.
I've heard it's a pretty good fight, though.
It's cool. It's cool, but my God, there's lives. I just want to. Maybe I'll say that for my fuck you. I've been playing a lot more Codenames Steam. I think I'm getting close to the end. At least I have all the characters now, of which there are a lot.
God damn you guys.
And I'm very still. I'm. That's a game that more people should have played because it's really fucking cool.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
Crispy.
And now that
I
we've...
still have it.
All right, we're cutting to break.
Bye.
We're actually taking a break this time. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a second. This is terrible, guys. This is terrible news. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. During the break, we discovered that we all dropped the ball this week, and there was no community segment set up.
All of us?
I didn't drop any balls.
Yeah, everyone except me, who was clearly busy this weekend.
I posted 2 brand new Let's Plays, sir.
And I didn't do anything.
Chris, you are on your way to Strike 7 so fast.
All right, Crispy,
What
you
happened to
need
Stripe 6?
Crispy, you'll probably need to move your microphone in a little bit, I think. Just a thought. Anyways, before we get... So, here's what I'll say. If you're watching us live, since we don't have a prepared community segment this week, we're going to do a little live Q&A with chat. So if there's anything you want to ask us that's game-related or non-game related, we will answer as many of them as we can.
Please try to
realistically.
keep your questions restricted to the fields of global politics and finance, please.
No, that sounds awful. But first, there's some stuff that's been happening in the news I think it's worth talking about.
Yeah, Greece.
How about that, Grace?
Oh,
That was a good movie.
I was like, what happened? Are they remaking that movie? What's going on?
Didn't they already do the John Travolta version? When they can...
I don't know. Anyways, let's not talk about the theme song to Fresh Prince and Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince and Bel-Air.
And
The Fresh Prince of
I'm pretty
Bel-Air.
sure
Wait,
it's Fresh
was-
Prince the Bel-Air.
was Carlton Bel-Air?
Oh my god. All right, we're not taking questions yet. We'll take questions during the community segment. So for now, let's go ahead and do the news. Brad, what did you want to talk about this week?
Oh, I would like to talk about something that I talked about in my last episode of Trailer Talk.
It's also something that I posted on the site about.
You did? When did you do that?
Oh my god, you fucking...
Was that after Trailer Talk?
No, it was before Trailer Talk.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm dying.
I think it was actually within hours of Trailer Talk.
Stop dancing around so I can click the damn button.
What is
Oh,
a Hollow
you have
Knight
footage?
girl?
Yes.
Yes!
We have footage of Allison Road. I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
bring it up a little bit, maybe hear your thoughts, because I know you were probably more excited about PT. Well, you like PT a
Maybe if you-
lot, and you were excited about Silent Hills.
Maybe if you read my article, Brad, which was very short, you would know how I feel about this.
Okay, well, I didn't read your article. So, and I'm sure a lot of these people did not either. So let's share with the good people your thoughts on this Allison Road footage, which will start right now.
Oh, you started at the beginning?
Because this is a game.
Good stuff happens at the end.
Yeah, well, define good.
Okay, let me tell you this.
I don't think being
Can I
terrorized
start
by a
with-
ghost is good.
Can I start with the story? I made the foolish decision of watching this actually during a break at work. and I work in.
You fool.
I work. So I work in a small room with like 4 or 5 other people. We all have headphones on, so like nobody can hear anything. So I'm just like, I'm gonna watch this, just because I need to take a break, and I'm watching it. So everything's going well, and I had told myself that I was gonna be totally cool with this, and I was even doing this thing, covering my mouth to make sure that I got this. I'm good. I'm watching it. We're good.
This is coming around so well on the mic.
I know. Well, that's the point. I was covering my mouth, and I watched all the way through it, and then at the very end, shit hits the fan, and it made me scream in a quiet work office with 4 other people in the room, and they all did this little like looking around the corner, like, what is going on over there? So, first, why did this demo have to be 18? It was like 18 minutes or something. Like the shit doesn't even really.
Yeah,
it was like 14 minutes. It hits the fan at the very end of this demo. Pretty hard.
What is this game? What is this game? Is this Gone Home meets PT?
Dude, that'd be a good description. This game is seriously somebody who basically saw the potential in PT and wanted to make an actual quote unquote actual game out of it. When I say quote unquote, I don't know what to think of it because it looks very much like PT. It's same visual style, same like kind of slow exploration.
It's just that hyper realistic,
but it's literally like there's an inventory system, it looks like, and you can pick things up and examine them.
I wouldn't call it a system, but you can pick shit up.
But for what purpose, I have no idea.
The comparison that came to mind when I was reading about it was like PT meets like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah. You have to go through 5 nights of this house.
So
you have to survive?
Yeah. So it's,
wow.
That's the concept that as I understand it, is they're kind of blending it PT with Five Nights at Freddy, which is, to me feels like a very logical choice. At the same time, though,
I just want this to be a game and not PewDiePie fodder.
The thing is, like, PT was never meant to be a game.
Sure.
It was meant to be something to tease.
It was
the
a
existence.
concept.
It was a concept or a proof of concept to just show what was possible and announce a new game. And as much as I loved PT and as exciting as that is, and as much as I will definitely play this just to see what happens, like, it doesn't change the fact that, like, this is not the game that I wanted or we wanted. I don't think. I mean, PT is great and all, but, like, it served its purpose.
I didn't ask for this.
So I'm not entirely sure how to feel about this. I'm eager to play it because it looks like more PT, and, you know, that was a fascinating experiment, and it was a fascinating...
I'm gonna say this though, PT looks like they spent a little bit of money on it, and when the crazy effects started happening, like in that hallway,
yeah,
you know, it looked good and it looked nice. When the effects start happening in this game, it looks a little indie, and I'm wondering if they're gonna be able to do some of the trippier shit that they were able to do in PT in this game.
I think they'll do trippy shit. I just don't know if it ultimately, in the end, it may not look as convincing.
I thought it was out.
But, you know,
just need some
in the grand scheme of things, we have so many horror games these days. Does that really matter all that much? It served its purpose. It scared the shit out of me. Like, the very end of this demo made me yell out loud, you know, despite my best efforts not to. And that's cool. I like that. But
that freaking light fixture is fucking with me.
Well, that light fixture is pretty cool.
But the thing I want to ask, so PT, it's a very structured game. You're going down a fucking L-shaped hallway.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
This is like
you actually go to the bathroom, which is amazing. But you know, it's going down that. And the way you're describing is that it's Five Nights at Freddy's edition, which you have to survive 5 nights in this house.
Well, the thing is, like, this goes beyond the simple concept of going down an L-shaped hallway. In this game, you are exploring a full-blown apartment. You go outside. You climb through windows.
Yeah,
it seems like.
I mean, that's my question. I mean, how grand an environment are we talking about? How can they sustain a game, you know, for an excessive amount of time, much longer than just PT was? I'm confused as to.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm confused as to the longevity of the game.
Is this even going to be like a lengthy thing? I mean,
I don't think it's
when
going
I say PewDiePie fodder, I'm talking about, you know, that 20-minute game where you kind of walk down a hallway and there's a big jump scare at the end.
I think it's going to be that type of game.
Or?
I think it's going to be comparable in length and size and scope to Five Nights at Freddy's.
But no, Five Nights at Freddy's is a very mechanics-driven game, though.
Yeah,
you survive
there's no exploration
5 nights, but there's stuff you do to survive. I mean, is this going to be like is the survival in this game going to be scripted, or are there going to be systems like
oh, you can't stay in this room for too long, or oh, you have to find an alternate way into the kitchen. I mean, what does that even mean? Survive? Can you use that knife that you picked up?
God damn it, Chris
stab
Davis.
a ghost?
Is this going to show the scare?
Yeah, this is just like a virtual tour of my new apartment. Oh yeah, this is great.
Look, it's a picture of Jesus. It's on the
Dude,
wall.
it's creeping me out, man.
There's this-
Apartments are creepy.
The thing is, like,
It's kind of nice,
At
actually.
night, yeah.
this whole demonstration was very much just like literally like walking around like, look how much detail we've put into this world.
Right
Until the
spooky
very
stuff
end.
is happening, and he mysteriously has a flashlight.
Let me grab that.
Are we gonna keep vamping on this game for 14 minutes to see the good stuff?
I mean, I'm looking at this, and you also made the comparison to Gone Home.
Yes.
And the great thing about Gone Home, at least one of the great things about it, was that you had this very, very large house.
Very well.
And there was a ton of stuff to find in it. And I just... Well, that's not good. But I mean, if you...
Have you not watched this before?
No, I haven't.
Oh man.
Oh.
No.
God damn it, Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I
Wait, so this is not about a lesbian relationship?
But I look at this, at what we're seeing
Spoilers.
right
Oh,
now.
God.
Oh, that's kind of creepy. I look at what we're seeing right now, and I think about the environment we're seeing, and I just, again, I question its longevity and what there is to actually do in the game.
Well, I mean, maybe you don't have to explore. I mean, like being a good horror game is about
building
okay.
tension.
building tension, but being trapped in a room for a while is very it's all about kind of like claustrophobia and whatnot. They can think about Signs. Have you ever seen Signs?
Yeah.
A large portion of that movie takes place inside this house, and it's incredible, incredibly tense and exciting. You just have to.
Well, no, I get that, but the difference, other than just the film versus interactivity aspect of it, is that Signs was constantly giving you glimpses to the outside world and showing you what else was going on. And that did build up the tension for what was going to happen in the farmhouse.
All right, we're getting to the good stuff. Anyways,
But yeah, again, I'm not seeing it here.
Well, this is just a little awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
who
it's
knows what
proof
this
concept.
game is, but
I will say that I do like. I like the concept. One of the things I really wanted out of Gone Home, I wanted a mod of the game which expanded the house size, but had you exploring this mystery, and then at the same time having you avoid like a ghost or a murderer,
here it comes.
which would have been fucking great.
That's just what you needed in Gone Home, wasn't it? A fucking murderer stalking you. Oh, Chris.
I think that would have been great.
I think this might be a little more Pootie Pie fodder than we're hoping for. I don't know.
My point is, it looks cool. I'm gonna play it, but it's not Silent Hills, and that's disappointing. But I'm glad someone's trying to carry it on. It looks like it'll be interesting. I know we'll probably definitely for sure 100% play that on the feed when it comes out. 100%. Anyways,
If you can get it run on your PC.
I didn't mean to steal your news topic,
shit.
Brad.
Taking pot shots at you over
You
here.
mean the PC that you built for me?
Oh, fuck!
Hey, it didn't start fucking up until somebody else started messing with it.
Your
So it's
face.
not my fault.
So, we're not gonna have this conversation right now.
Fight!
fight, bring it.
All right, Crispy,
Yeah.
what you got?
What do I have? Oh, news.
Thanks.
So this
What do
week,
I have?
Who was it? I think it was IGN debuted a new 18-minute gameplay trailer of
No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky.
Oh, come on.
And it's so fucking cool.
What happens
I
in this?
want it.
Tell me what happens in this 18 minutes, because I
Okay,
have not
so
seen
he's
it.
running around, and then a goat starts attacking him, and he shoots the
attacking
goat, and then these robots start attacking him because he shot the goat, and then he dies, and then he respawns, and then he's shooting rocks, and he's collecting the stuff from the rocks, and then he gets in his ship, and he's flying around, and then he lands on another part of the planet and shoots some more rocks, and then he gets in his ship, and he flies out into space, and then he's just like warping around space, just being like, "Oh, come fly in a spaceship, blue, blue, blue," and it's amazing, and I can't wait for this fucking
So
game.
pretty much
And
what we saw
fuck
at
you,
E3.
Brad. Fuck you, Brad.
Well,
Is
my
this-
question is, what did they show that was particularly new?
Nothing.
Well, he got in a ship and he's like flying around in space, and then he's like going to a space station, and these pirates show up and they start
So
shooting
he goes to
everybody.
a space station.
Well,
What
okay,
happens on the
okay,
space
okay.
station?
So they nothing. He didn't do anything. He left. He was like, oh, fuck that, and he left.
This is the best description of a game ever.
They got-
He shoot a goat, and the goat left, and then shot some rocks, and then
And the goat tried to attack him again, and he shot the ground. And the goat was like, "Okay, it looks like we got a badass over here," and ran away.
4
Dude,
people.
just go
4
fucking
people
watch
made this
it.
game.
It's cool, and I want this game. And fuck you guys.
After-
Fuck you guys.
after 15 demos, we still are no closer to knowing what this game actually is.
He's just flying around and
No,
shooting shit.
that's the thing. We do know. They've told us what it is.
Yeah.
It is
Krispy's
explained
still
to you
excited.
several times what this game is about, and you
I-
don't seem to be able to grasp
I have been
it.
following this game, and I know what it's about, and I know what I'm getting into, and I'm still excited.
Is it more like Journey
Go
or more like?
fuck yourself, Brad.
No, I'm asking you. Is this more like
I
Journey
think
or Elite
I think it's kind of
Dangerous?
Journey-ish with systems and exploration.
It's kind of like
Systems.
fucking,
Explain
it's kind of like
these systems.
Minecraft.
We
Like,
have not seen a single
alliances
word.
There's a lot of
with
there's-
enemies,
okay. They
crafting.
do talk a lot about crafting. So like in this game, they've said that they've like created their own like periodic table of elements, and everything in the universe is made up of these elements, and you can mine them. So basically, you're just like shooting rocks and collecting the elements, and you can craft things. Like new spaceships, new spacesuits, new guns, attachments for your guns, things like that, out of these elements. And apparently, it's really cool.
Are you trying to survive? Can I build
I
a home?
think you have to look at it.
on a planet. Can I build a
Why
home?
would you want to build a fucking home when you have a spaceship?
I don't know.
Well, no, the idea is that you build up your spaceshipping, you get better spaceships in order to access more stuff, and then you
live
the
on your
end goal.
spaceship.
Listen, Brad,
Yeah.
I know this is all really complicated and over your head, but it's okay because it's gonna be a good game.
Is it
All
like
right,
Subnautica?
here's the disconnect.
It's not a survival game.
Here's the disconnect.
necessarily.
We know what it is. We know what it is.
Yeah.
I think some of us
Do
are
we?
just not satisfied with what it is.
maybe. Well,
And that's okay.
Sure,
I
that's
don't know.
fine.
Some of us are, some of us aren't.
Is it like?
I'm glad Krispy's excited.
Remember the game that's like Terraria but with space?
Minecraft.
No.
Starbound.
Is it like
yeah.
Starbound?
Kind of. Yeah.
You know what? You know what?
It's flying through space and it's crafting and it's like doing whatever the
I think
fuck you want.
You know
Is
what?
anyone
Krispy?
ever gonna talk?
I think you're just expecting a lot more of this game than you're actually going to get, because everything that you're going to get is everything you've seen.
All
thus
right.
far.
Okay. Krispy.
Except for the cool shit
I'm
that you
so-
gotta find.
I'm so very happy for you, Krispy.
Dude,
I'm
he
so
like okay, no, shut the fuck up. Hang on. He like at one part he's like shooting rocks and like it doesn't do anything. He's like, it's cool. I got a plasma beam upgrade, and he snaps this little plasma beam on his gun and he shoots the rock and it blows a hole through the rock, like full
Cool.
like geometric modding of the environment. Blowing a hole through a rock, and they're like, yeah, you could just shoot at the ground and shoot all the way down. And on some planets, if you shoot down far enough, you'll just like fall into a network of caves, like, and find shit down there.
all right.
So the question is,
I'm
can
so-
you Death Star a planet?
I don't know, because the planets are like planet size. They like he's like flying around a planet. He's like, yeah, you could just walk for weeks and still
I'm just
be on
saying
one
that would be the
planet.
most awesome thing. You build a fucking Death Star.
I'm just gonna live on one planet, never leave.
Do it.
You're defeating
Do
the
it,
entire
because
purpose
that's the
of the
beauty
game.
of the game. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Can
Brad.
I? Can I build a
It's
home?
freedom.
Can I build a home?
You can build a fucking cave.
What?
You can shoot a rock until you have a cave to live in.
Can I just stand in my cave?
Fuck you, Brad. Do whatever you want.
God damn it, both of you. Crispy, you know what? I'm so excited for you. I'm so glad you're happy. I also hope the game gets canceled.
I hope that
has to be a game before it
Konami
gets
brings
canceled.
back Silent Hill as a cell phone free-to-play game.
Oh,
And I hope they send you a letter that's just like, hey, Nick, we sent you a free review copy because we think you'd really like this game. I hope you die an early death.
and it doesn't end up working on his phone.
Holy shit, this is getting out of control.
This is gonna be our first.
This is getting
contender.
hateful. This is, I can feel the hate.
Such anger.
You can build a home in Ark.
You can.
And there are dinosaurs in Ark.
Yeah.
But you know what there isn't in Ark?
Infinite dinosaurs.
Rocks to shoot.
Fucking spaceships and rocks to shoot.
I'm gonna shoot all the rocks. It's gonna be great.
Dude, you better, because that's how you fucking mine your resources in this game.
You shoot rocks.
You shoot rocks.
So,
rock
But
shooting
then you
show.
forge alliances and you fight
forge
pirates.
alliances with
There's
what?
other
If you
factions
fucking
in the
want
game.
to.
with rocks.
No fucking alliances. This is like
And then you go
fucking-
to one planet and you start shooting the rocks, and it turns out it's a planet of giant rock people, like from Noah, and they try to kill you.
Okay, what is that
Wasn't that
about?
like-
I caught like 20 minutes of Noah on TV the other night, and there was rock monsters. I thought this shit was biblical.
What are you talking about? The story of Noah already makes no sense.
Well, sure, but it makes no sense in a Bible kind of way.
Oh yeah.
But the Bible didn't have rock monsters in it. That's some Lord of the Rings shit. No, that's more fantasy than Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings.
because Darren Aronofsky looked at the Bible and said, "This sucks. We need to sexy it up a bit.
Did it
How about
have-
some rock monsters?"
Did it have rock lobsters?
Chris Davis, what is your news topic this week?
Well, it's related to something we recorded earlier this evening, but I just wanted to now that we've gone through it and we've seen it, we've thought about it, I was wondering if we could talk a little bit and give a little preview of the Metal Gear Solid 5 video that we saw today.
Oh God!
Oh, we
Game
just
looks
watched
the game
that.
looks terrible.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude,
I mean,
and then Quiet started talking, and I felt
God
really
damn
bad for judging her
God
based
damn-
on her appearance.
Hold on,
Why?
hold on.
Because it turns out she's a really deep and emotive character.
Yeah, who used to be called Chico. You're stressing out there,
everybody
Brad. You wanna-
breathe.
I wanted
wanna
to go
talk?
back to No Man's Sky for 2 seconds.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
I have this
Sorry.
feeling that these fleets of ships are not these complex like alien races that you're gonna interact with and do fucking quests for. I think you're gonna see fleets of ships just like they're analogous to like wildlife you might find on a planet. Maybe you can shoot at them and then they'll shoot at you a little bit. Then you're gonna fly away like fish in fucking water.
What the fuck do you want? You want to like get to know these guys? You want them
Yes!
to like invite you to their niece's quinceanera?
That would be fucking awesome!
Oh, hey Brad. By the way, what are you doing this weekend?
You could do that in Mountain
a
Blade.
space quinceanera?
I've been
That'd
to
be
fucking
awesome.
quinceañeras in Mountain Blade.
Fuck you, Brad. You got rocks to
Is it an
shoot.
audio thing? Did we
Yes.
turn it too
Would,
loud?
would,
so
would
we
it be a
can't yell?
cyber quinceanera?
Y'all are...
From
Should I
It's
turn
a
it down?
space in
no, you should just stop yelling.
Quinceanera in space.
Yes, that would be more fun than the butterflies, spaceships.
I'm cataloging life forms and plants. Ooh.
I just say that because someone in chat was like, "You act like you didn't see fleets, ships, in the trailers." Yeah, and they didn't do shit with that with them at all. You just shot at them a little bit and flew away. Yeah, Metal Gear.
Can we talk about Metal Gear?
But we talked about Metal Gear. Your news topic is moot.
Well, we didn't talk about
Strike
Metal
9.
Gear on the podcast. We recorded a video with our impressions of the 30-minute demo
Spoiler alert! I think it looks terrible.
What?
because Nick is a terrible person.
You are a terrible
But
person.
Nick saw a horse and he's
I
like,
just-
fuck this game.
I wanted to pull up a certain section of the footage and just, now that we've thought about it and seen it, just get our overall impressions of what we're
Oh,
watching
you
here.
post you brought
This
footage.
really is moot. But, like, what are we supposed to talk about
I mean,
now?
just give people a taste of what we're talking about here. So this is the part of the video where they introduce
Fulton.
the
Fulton Recovery.
Fulton Reed.
Fulton Reed.
This is the rocket fist part.
oh, this is the best.
Okay.
This is
So
the best.
I thought it was one of the best things about it, and I was just wondering
Really? I
what
thought
you
it was-
thought about it.
Which Mega Man villain had this power? Or
Or
like he shot fists?
You know, there were so many
All
fucking
right,
Mega
so
Man
your
villains,
news
there's
topic
gotta
this
be
week
one.
is that Big Boss can shoot a robot hand through the air and control it remotely.
It is
Dude,
very
do
anime.
you remember when we started
Pretty
watching?
fucking cool, don't you think?
Do you guys remember when we started watching this video and I was like, is there a thing in this where he can shoot his hand and it's like a rocket punch? And you guys were like, no, that's fucking stupid. And then what fucking happened? He did that thing.
I didn't say it was stupid.
I thought it was awesome.
You guys were both like, Metal Gear's really serious and realistic. And
What?
They don't do that kind of silly stuff.
Nobody ever said that, first of all.
Okay, fine. You know what?
What are we talking about here?
I was
said it
saying,
all.
I just want your fucking impressions because we
Let's just
reacted
do
to
it
your
all.
impressions.
I think the rocket punch is fucking sweet.
Hard man.
I am.
His name was Hard
How many
Man.
Fultons are you going to be able to recover?
Oh God. We gotta move on.
Okay, fine. We'll fucking move on.
I will say
No, I
this.
want to see the rocket punch first. He's
We-
about to do
Okay,
it.
let's do the rocket punch and then we'll move on.
All right, we
And it's
record.
right here. It is so fucking cheesy Kojima, but it's awesome.
Y'all are the worst. Y'all are the fucking worst.
Dude, could
Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Heavenly Sword when you're steering the arrows around. I'm just gonna punch every dude in the dick. Can I do that? Do I have infinite
It
rocket
explodes.
punches?
It explodes too. How did that guard not fucking see it?
Wait,
That was-
so that means that his arm is like constantly packed with explosives, right? And then at any minute he could just like hit his fist on the table and blow it up.
I love the remote control batarang in Batman. They don't do enough with it, you know. Maybe they did in City, but
I
they,
like how in Arkham Knight 2 they changed it where you actually get like a couple bounces before it cuts off.
All right, guys.
Alright, well, we can move on.
I will say this: we recorded an entire impressions piece that you can find on our YouTube channel, where we all watch this video together,
yes.
and you can hear about how much I hate this game. I'm just kidding. That's
He said some really.
Are you more
hateful-
excited about Mad Max or Metal Gear?
Do you want me to answer that question?
Yes, I want you to
excited
answer
about
that.
Mad Max.
Yes, say it right now. Answer the question.
Say it for the record.
Nick's racist. He hates all Japanese people.
Because of Konami.
Yes.
I'm not answering that question.
Oh, that's a bad.
No,
Max.
I don't know. I don't know the
That's
answer to
bad
that
back.
question.
That's
That's sad.
not knowing the answer to that question is the answer to that
I don't know if
question.
I'm particularly excited about. Never mind.
About either?
I don't. I will. Can we move on? All I said. all I said at the beginning of this video was that for some reason I'm not feeling the hype train yet, and then it just escalated.
I think you're oversaturated to what they've released.
He's not even watching it all.
But at the same time, in comparison to Mad Max, they haven't released a whole lot for that
I've
game.
actually
So
played.
it's-
I've actually
kind of-
played Mad Max though.
Take it easy, guys. He was in that room with you guys too. He saw that Fallout 4 presentation. It broke his hype boner.
Yeah,
He can't get hype
did.
boners anymore. He hyped too much.
I am more hyped about Fallout 4 than both of those games. How's that for an answer?
Metal Gear is showing us an actual goddamn video game, though. I don't know.
What does that mean?
This has been the weirdest news segment we've ever done.
kind of a weird podcast.
The only
Should we just put a fucking pin in this?
Yeah, well, my news topic is brief. I wanted to just talk about so WB Montreal this
Yeah.
week. There was a leaked image from a game they might be working on, and it's a Superman game.
What?
Did anyone else see this picture?
Yes.
No,
So-
I didn't see it. What?
So
WB
it's
Montreal.
a picture of a supposed skin for a Superman, a New 52 skin, and the way it looks, it's as if it's its own standalone product.
What?
Nick, you can probably explain it better than me, but
So it's
that's
just-
exactly what I saw.
It's just a character skin for Superman.
For a game that we don't know what.
The Justice
Wait,
League game.
was it the Elseworld story where Superman became Batman and it's just a skin for Arkham Knight?
There was an Elseworld story with it?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Where
We can't even
where
have
Clark
one
Kent
good
lands
story.
in Gotham and the Waynes raise him.
Here's-
and
okay,
then
how about
he
this?
There
dies.
was a Batman's animated series episode about that.
How about a question then? How would y'all feel if that? Yeah, ever since Batman Arkham started, people have been like, they should make a Superman game. How would y'all feel if the B team that made Batman Arkham Origins was the one to step in and say, all right, we're gonna make that Superman
I
game?
would be okay with it. And I would be okay with it for two reasons. Number one, it is the B team, but it's a developer that is now experienced with this kind of formula, and they can potentially build off it. Okay,
Love the taste of failure now.
Man, you hate that game.
your review was more positive than you're making it
Yeah,
out.
you gave it
I
an
was.
8.5.
And then I went and played it.
I
again.
remember him giving it a 9.
I didn't give it an 8.5. I gave it a 6 after one playthrough when I was still like kind of excited about the game. That is just fermented into hate and salt within me.
Well, and the other thing is that, at least for me, I they have an established formula they can build off of, and they know what they're doing this time around. The caution I have is that I really kind of don't want them to follow the Rocksteady formula.
Well, they're going to
because it's Superman's completely different type of character from Batman.
What makes you think they would
Batman
follow that formula?
No. I think
there's going to be certain
best,
things they're going to borrow from Rocksteady.
No, absolutely. The characterization and how they build the story, I really hope it goes that way. And maybe even just, powers and upgrades, maybe like that. But the problem is that Batman and Superman, very different characters, very different functions for how they work.
Well, yeah, one flies at like supersonic speed.
Superman is invincible, okay? He cannot be killed unless you inject him with green kryptonite, whatever. But you also have to consider that a Superman game also has to be a much larger scale, I think.
Yes.
You have to make a Metropolis
Arkham Knight
10,
would be
20
too
times
small
bigger.
of a game to effectively make Superman an interesting character.
That's
In
why
fact, I think the only people that can make it are the wonderful designers of No Man's Sky. Only they can make a game large enough to contain Superman.
Imagine a procedurally generated universe where you get to play as Superman.
That'd be kind of cool.
I would play that game.
But I was gonna say I think the best model for them to go off of if they were actually making this game is actually the Superman Returns game from 06. I think that was the best foundation for a Superman game. It was just way too rushed.
That was a weird game.
It was weird, but every idea that he put into it kind of works, and it's kind of the right foundation.
The thing about Superman is I've thought a lot about this. How the fuck do you make that game and make it fun?
That's the question.
I don't know. And in the 2006 Superman Returns game, try to skirt around that whole Superman's invincible thing with. Instead of giving him a health meter, you had a city health meter. So if too much shit was happening to Metropolis, you lost.
That makes sense.
That kind of makes sense, but at the same time,
well, I think you nailed.
You know what's fun about open world games? Fucking shit up. You know what Superman doesn't do? Fuck shit up. That's the problem.
All right, true. That is a
and
that
when
is a
he
great
does. When they make Man of Steel and he does actually fuck shit up, everyone gets super pissed about it.
I mean, how do you provide a fail condition for a character that's essentially invincible?
Sure. And here's the thing.
He's technically not invincible anymore.
When Batman Arkham Asylum came out, when they first approached that project, the question at that point had always been, how do you make a Batman game and how do you make it fun and good and convincing? And nobody had really done it successfully until Rocksteady came along.
Yeah.
If anybody could come up with a unique concept to maybe tackle this project effectively, I think it'd be Rocksteady. But obviously, that's not going to happen, or probably not going to happen. I would imagine at this point, after making 3 Arkham games, Rocksteady probably has the key to the city. They can probably say, all right, now that we've done that for you, we want to do something else. So the next best thing is okay, well, let's hand that Superman project to the B team, who has really done nothing yet except effectively. And I hate to say the word copy, but effectively copy what Rocksteady did.
Here's my problem.
Not that I'm saying that they can't innovate themselves.
So if Warner Brothers Montreal is really making a Superman game, I think that kind of seals the deal on Rocksteady not making a Justice League game, because I don't think they would let this other crappier studio set the foundation for what a Superman game even is, and then have Rocksteady make a larger game with Superman in it.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
Well, you never know. They might be just trying to do the same thing with Origins, where they just want to keep they want to keep the subject in the air long enough for when Rocksteady comes with this
Well, I know, but
is,
Rocksteady hasn't made the foundation.
No, that's not entirely my point. The thing is, Rocksteady. A lot of what you pay attention to in Arkham Knight is continued content and recycled content. Not to put too fine a point on side stories or characters specifically, but if you look at, say, Robin, or you look at Catwoman, these characters are playable in the game, but they're the exact same thing, just brought over from Arkham City. So I look at it and they have to not only, they can keep Batman the way he is if they want to have that style of game and that function, but they've got to build Superman, they've got to build Wonder Woman, the Martian Manhunter, freaking Green Lantern, the Flash. They've got to build all these mechanics for all these different diverse characters and just how they interact with the world, that they have to do something completely entirely different in order to fit all these characters together.
The scope of that game
and they're
is
not
probably
prepared
be
for that.
Insane. I don't even know how else to put it. Like, is that even possible in video game format?
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. You could, I mean, look at freaking X-Men Legends or the Marvel, whatever it was, the other beat 'em up that was just like it. Yeah, you could technically.
I don't want a
do
Justice
it.
League beat 'em up.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying it's certainly possible to have these characters all together in a game to where you could have that scope that all the characters match up well to. But the way Rocksteady has built up the Arkham series, they can't do that with those characters to do, pay respect.
I don't know. I have to see somebody like put forward an idea.
We've already
first.
spent too much time talking about it, considering this is all very much rumor and speculation, and it could very well be not true at all.
But it's an inevitability that we're eventually going to see another Superman
You see?
game.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about right there. Look at what Victus said. That's salty shit right
remember
there.
when Superman leveled
Saved the whole fucking world.
Hey, remember that time that they made a sequel that was entirely about Batman stepping up to rid the world of Superman because of the damage he did in the first movie, which kind of makes sense.
We don't know if that's the plot.
That is the plot.
Well,
Essentially,
That's
his
I would
motivation.
say
heavily
that
rumored that's what it is.
I would say that's the plot if they weren't adding fucking Wonder Woman and Aquaman and a bunch of other characters.
The whole motivation behind Batman going after Superman is he
built-
thinks
is
he's
hinged-
unstable and dangerous because of Man of Steel.
That's a fair.
Which we're talking about movies. What's happening?
I've not even seen Man of Steel.
You anger me. Anyways,
you're not missing much.
Or either of those Thor movies.
that's strike 10. Get the fuck out of this room.
I know about neck snapping, though. And I've had it spoiled for me.
All right, let's move on.
Superman's lame.
I don't even. Okay, so let's just do a quick community segment. I'm sorry, we don't have a formally prepared community segment this week because Nolan has failed us for the first time ever, unlike Chris Davis, who's failed us 10 times tonight. So I
Look
would
forward
say,
to it next week.
I would say let's just take a few quick questions from chat. Is anybody in chat who wants to ask us anything? We'll answer some questions. This is usually something that we leave to our patrons on a weekly basis, but because of the circumstances, we will take questions from chat. Although I'm not sure how we're going to do this effectively and not have moments of silence.
I mean, we could just keep talking about what we're doing, and then people just pop up with a question.
Oh wait, while they're thinking of questions, should we announce the new chatter of the week? Or,
Yeah, we
sorry,
should.
not chatter of the week.
Supporter
of the month?
Yes,
Because Smelly Jelly pointed out, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be supporter of the month for another week."
that's actually the one thing Nolan did this week.
Oh, god damn it, Nolan.
So, I guess we can announce that the supporter of the month for July 2015 is Chai Tai 805.
Oh my god.
Corruption.
Hacks, I know.
I smell bullshit.
But according to Nolan, he was actually the one. So
What kind of blowjobs was he handing out during E3 to get that? I'm sorry, Chad.
that would have been super awkward.
That's all it would have been?
I thought
Okay.
you were gonna say that would have been super.
I like how
awesome.
Chai Tai's the first one to say rigged. rigged. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Anyways,
I'm not a sub, but rigged.
anyways, thank you, Chai Tai, for supporting us.
Yeah, we do.
We really appreciate it. You are supporter of the month for the month of July.
And he has gone kind of above and beyond for us. So
He does. He has.
It's kind of deserved.
Oh, you already
But
got his games?
We have already received his choice
This
of
isn't
games.
about deserving it. It's a random number generator. He got picked.
That's the exact
Yeah,
same
that's
way
true.
that my girlfriend won once.
Yeah. And what did she pick?
we're noticing.
What did she?
Spyro 2?
Was it? No, it wasn't
It was
Spyro.
some
She
lame
thought
shit.
about doing Spyro.
There's like a pattern
Spyro.
going on here.
All right.
Didn't Reborn get it?
Wait,
once
what?
and do Spyro?
No, Chai.
Reborn
what?
Reborn has been chatter or God, I keep saying chatter. Supporter of the month as well.
Whoa, Chai, come on, man, come on. No, you gave us different games earlier today.
Read his
you
game
can't
list.
give us-
Just Dance 2014. That's it. You guys have to play it. Yay!
All right, we're starting to get questions. Let's go ahead and read his games. Chris Davis.
Well, he told us earlier.
Well, those are his official choices. Go ahead. Go.
These right here.
No, the ones that he gave you earlier.
He chose Mega Man X 3 and 4.
Sweet.
He chose Cave Story, and he chose
God hand.
that God Hand.
So we have to choose between those. One of those three games will be the game. We have to figure out.
We'll let you
Which
know.
honestly, I've never played any of those games, but I would really like to experience X3 or X4.
Me
so-
too, honestly, because this is This is huge for me. I have never played a Mega Man game.
Well, don't start with those.
What?
Start with Mega Man X. It'll ease you
Yeah,
into them.
play Mega Man X. It's probably the best Mega Man game ever made.
No,
honestly.
But, I mean, it's an
a really
easy
good
introduction.
It's a really good one.
Hey, we'll discuss it, and we will let you guys know which one we're going to play on the feed throughout the month of July. Thank you, Chai, for being a supporter. Let's start taking some questions from chat. Go.
Chat's going apeshit here.
What has Chai Tai done? I blame Chai for all of
Somebody
this.
earlier asked if any of us watch anime, and if so, what our top 5 favorite animes
I could not
are.
name a top 5, but I could tell you some animes that I've watched that I liked.
I could.
I would like
But
to
you
hear
go
it.
ahead.
Oh crap! You have to put me on the spot. Do it.
Well, while you think about it, I
Name
would like
one, Nick.
Fucking do
Samurai
it.
Champloo. I like that.
Samurai Champloo is good. I was going to point out that so we do the community Nier and Kenton and Self Torment and Toast Points and a few others do a community podcast called 4Player Anime Cast.
Yes, they do.
And I was on their most recent episode. It was all about an anime called Nisekoi, and it was very diversive between everybody that was on. But I do recommend going to the
You
forums.
say diversive or divisive?
Divisive.
Okay.
Diversive.
It was very diversive.
Divisive, whatever. Go, please check it out in the forums. It's episode 22.5. It's we had an interesting and kind of funny argument. So
All right, check that out. Check that out. What was the anime called?
Nisekoi.
I've never heard of it.
If I had to pick top 5 anime, I'd probably say Cowboy Bebop, obviously.
Cowboy Bebop's on my list as well.
FLCL, because that show's crazy and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Trigun, I was really into Trigun. Dragon Ball Z.
It's got to be on my list too.
And, dude, you know what? I started watching that Assassination Classroom. I'm only a few episodes in, but, like, it's pretty good. It's fucking weird.
Are we allowed to put? Are we allowed?
It's really fucking weird.
Haruhi!
Hardy's pretty good.
Are we allowed to put? Princess Mononoke is like not only one of my favorite animes.
That
ever.
doesn't count. Miyazaki doesn't count.
Why does Miyazaki
It
not
never
count?
counts.
He hates anime.
It never counts.
Hey, well that's not fair. I'm gonna put it on there anyways. I love Princess Mononoke.
Fuck you, Miyazaki. You're on my list.
I kind of have a weird list. I like.
kidding.
I mean, Cowboy Bebop. You can never go wrong with. Trigun's always pretty good.
Trigun was great.
I really like Excel Saga.
Oh shit!
That is just an apeshit series.
I used to watch Excel Saga, and then a friend of mine gave me a DVD for another series that those creators did called. It was like Puni Poemi or something.
Oh God!
And that was the
that.
fucking weirdest
That
thing
is
I've
the
ever
weirdest
seen.
shit.
And I still have that fucking DVD. I still have it.
Oh, the worst.
I really like Panty Pony Dash. It's a really good show.
My favorite
and
anime.
really like Gurren Lagann.
My favorite anime
Big O was
is the one with the dude with the arrow on his head and The Simpsons
Avatar.
and King of the Hill. Those are my top
You mean
three.
Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yep.
The show that you still haven't watched.
My favorite Japan anime.
Oh fuck! I didn't even mention a single Gundam
King of the Hill's #1.
because Gundam was amazing.
I left you the season 1 of the Last Airbender on your couch for like a fucking year.
I don't watch.
And you never watched
I don't watch stuff.
You watch fucking reality TV cooking shows and that bullshit, but you won't watch quality.
They canceled the taste.
entertainment?
My favorite anime was Teen Titans.
Oh my God.
That show was awesome.
Ren
We
and
really-
Stimpy. Ren and
We
Stimpy.
really need a new question.
Yeah. Anyway, we just talked about anime for another half an hour.
Please, God, no.
Corey and
Nobody in their right mind can be entertained by Lucky Star Spire.
Dude.
I'm sorry.
Big O is fucking tits. It's basically Batman just with giant robots and it's anime. Basically.
It was too repetitive for me. I couldn't
Fuck
get over
off. Well, like,
Oh my God.
like you're watching Big O and you get the part where he like calls Big O and you're like, oh, he's gonna get in the
it. No,
robot
it's
again.
not that. It's the
He's gonna get in
narration.
the robot.
It's the
He
narration.
gets in the robot every episode.
It's the narration and just how they pace it because it's so slow.
This is the worst
Yeah.
podcast of the year.
Even in Montana.
Favorite cult film? Mountain Doom wants to know what's our favorite cult film.
Favorite cult
I think Brad might be a great Brad or Chris.
film. Okay, so
The definition of cult film has kind of evolved and
It has.
mutated over the years. Who knows what it means anymore?
It's been warped beyond
Wet
belief.
Hot American Summer is a great cult comedy. And I've seen that movie literally 1,000 times. And I love it.
Literally.
Literally, I counted. I have my tally sheet.
You
If
stopped
you'd
at
like to
1,000?
double check. Well, no, I just happened to hit 1,000 last night. So I threw a little party. I was like, yay.
Would you,
You know, a really good French thriller, 13 Zametti. And I lent this movie to Nick, and he held on to it for 2 years and never watched it.
Longer
I never
than
watched it.
so you
I'll be
understand
honest.
my pain.
It's a really good movie. It is black and white, and it is French, but it came out like in 2005 or something like that. And it was it's about a guy who stumbles into an underground Russian roulette tournament, and it's fucked up. Like, it's a really good movie.
I still want to watch that. Can I have it again?
Yeah, sure.
That was cool.
It was a really good movie.
I mean, I assume it was cool. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch that many movies. I mean, I'll catch a lot of the the big hits like a Marvel.
You were
or
just
a-
giving him shit for not watching enough, and you just
Hang on.
literally started that with, I don't watch many movies.
Would you? I was going to ask. Would you say that the first Harold and Kumar movie is a cult film?
No. That's pretty mainstream, I'd say,
Really?
at this point.
Okay. I mean, other than like a
I am not an expert.
See, I love Wes Anderson movies. Most of his I wouldn't really consider cult anymore. Like Grand Budapest Hotel was pretty.
End of
all over the
Evangelion
place.
is not a cult film.
I like the one where there's monsters under Fred Savage's bed.
Oh, Little Monsters, dude. My roommate has
don't
been
think
trying
that's a
to
cult
find that jacket that fucking Howie Mandel wears in Little Monsters for years.
I've got one. I've got one. Batteries not included. I do like that movie. That was a little kind of almost cult film that came out around the time of E.T. And it was kind of playing off of E.T. and Johnny Five is Alive, Short Circuit. It was kind of like a hybrid between those two, and it was pretty good. It was cute.
yeah, it's making me realize I don't watch a lot of cult films.
Los locos kick your ass.
What
Los
was
locos kick your face.
I mean,
Time
It
Bandits,
Follows a cult film?
Brazil?
No.
Not really. I mean,
is David Lynch
it's
cult?
not. It
Does
hasn't
he
been
make
out
cult
long
films?
enough to be cult. Yeah, David Lynch. Yeah.
I mean, like I don't
Like
think I love
Mulholland
Mulholland
Drive.
Drive, but I don't think that's a cult film.
Yeah,
I think
dude, it totally is.
like Lost Highway is a cult film, but
Well,
not
Lost
Mulholland
Highway
Drive.
is definitely a deeper cut. I think that movie's fucked up.
More questions?
Oh, sorry. More questions.
Okay, what we
I
got?
mean, you can keep talking about cult films until we get another question.
There's a delay and nobody's asking questions anymore. I have a question for you, Krispy. When are you gonna start playing Codename Steam?
I don't know.
You ask,
I'll get
Crispy, when
around
are you
to
going
it.
to start playing X all the fucking time? It
Jack the
doesn't
Man
matter.
wants to know, what are your favorite animals?
Owls.
Do I
Owls
need
are
to-
God
cool.
damn it.
I'm not even going to fucking open my mouth because there's a meme about
Bears.
me. I'm just going to shut up.
I like owls, too. Why'd you have to steal my shit, Crispy?
Owls are cool.
They are cool. They're pretty fucking cool.
If you like cats so much, Chris Davis, why don't you just melt them down and fuck it?
Go back to that gummy bear joke from.
Yes! That was
Okay.
a throwback to the gummy bear joke.
Wait, you melted down a bunch of gummy bears and fucked them?
No, that was Nick.
What was the question?
When is 4P... Funky Dunk says, when is 4PP getting a VR
don't think-
headset?
Dude, I want a VR headset so bad.
It's
so I
would
can
like-
play No Man's Sky with it.
that might be a thing. I don't know.
Get that
I
Project
would-
Morpheus.
I would like a VR headset, but I've got to know the prices of them. And if they're over like $800 a piece, I'm not going to touch them.
$800.
They've got to be. They've got to be. The technology they're throwing around and the requirements that they have for the systems to run it, it's just, there's no way it's consumer-friendly prices. There's no way. The Starbreeze revealed their own VR headset at E3, and you know what? It sounds fucking great. And the specs look amazing. But there's no way it's less than $1,000.
Next
There's
question.
no
All right,
way.
last question of the night. What is the first CD that you bought?
Oh shit, I know this one.
I have no idea.
I
know
know
this
this one. The first
You mean the first cassette tape I
the
bought?
first cassette tape I ever bought was the Godzilla soundtrack. to
The 1998?
Yes, to the 1998
With the Puff
Godzilla.
Daddy?
Yes, with
Come
Matthew
with me.
Broderick starring as Nick Totopoulos, and it had Puff Daddy on it.
No,
And
the Puff Daddy.
The
according
Puff
to Chris
Daddy,
Davis.
excuse me, and yes. I had that tape before I even knew what music was, and I was like, well, I guess this is what people do.
All right, you bring up an interesting point about cassette tapes. 'Cause I think I bought a few cassette tapes, but I can't remember what they were. But the first CD that I remember ever buying, I remember because I had to go buy it secretly against my parents' express wishes, and that was Papa Roach. Papa Roach's first CD.
Got my life
Infest,
into
I believe it was
pieces.
called.
Wait,
I
was
still-
that him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember listening to that
This is
song in
my
the Hollywood
life.
music. No, I mean in a Blockbuster music.
That was the first.
Wait.
That was the first CD I ever bought that had a parental advisory sticker on it. And at this point, I actually already had the Marshall Mathers LP, which is still a fantastic fucking
That's not
CD.
the first CD you bought.
No,
surely.
no, it's not the first I bought, but I had this CD at this point because it was gifted to me for at a birthday that I had, and the person who got it for me, his mom, made them get me the censored version. So I had these for the longest time. I had just the censored version of the Marshall Mathers LP, which is hilarious to try and listen to now.
Is it just like a lot of pauses?
A lot of bleeps, a lot of pauses.
Fuck, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie soundtrack. I had that at one point.
I have no idea the first
We're in
thing
trouble.
music thing that I bought. It was too long ago.
I don't remember, honestly.
I remember
wanna
having
say,
a pretty sweet ZZ Top tape.
I remember buying this.
Jesus
I
Christ.
remember buying the soundtrack to the original Scream.
I used to for like years and years. The only music CDs I would ever buy were Weird Al Yankovic. I fucking love Weird Al Yankovic, man. And like,
That explains a lot,
No,
Crispy.
and there was a Simpsons soundtrack that I bought, and there was a Pokemon soundtrack. And the Pokemon soundtrack, my favorite track on that was a Weird Al Yankovic song called "Everybody Pokemon." It's time to poke for Ponyta and Pidgeotto. Come on, put on your lederhosen and try not to step on little Pikachu. You better grab yourself a partner like Tentacruel or Bulbasaur. Hold on a minute. There's still at least 127 more, including Ladybug and Ponyta.
All right,
Why does your brain remember this stuff?
Oh
How
my
many
god!
songs are in your head?
You realize how good a vlog this would be if we could get you to sing the entire
I
thing?
used to know the whole thing, and he says a lot of them.
I think the earliest CD I can actually remember getting was I convinced my parents to let me import the soundtrack for Final Fantasy VII. Because I just really am all about soundtracks and stuff. So that's the earliest thing I remember.
I remember buying one of those at like the first anime convention I went to, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Just all 4 discs.
Yeah, it was like 4 discs, and it had like 1,000 tracks on it, and I was like, I've played some of this game.
And it was all these tracks that you didn't even remember hearing, and you immediately just tried to find the boss theme, the boss fight.
yeah, I
theme.
just listened to One Winged Angel over and over again.
All right. I think that does it for questions tonight. Thank you guys for helping us Mad Lib this community segment. Of course, thank you guys for being a supporter, if you are, or being whether it's on Twitch or on Patreon. We really appreciate it. And with next week's podcast, we will make sure we get Nolan back in check, have him put together a community segment, and of course, I will post the questions thread on Patreon.com.
And maybe you'll even provide us with a background image, or is that too much?
Oh, that was good, Chris Davis. Chris Davis is feisty today. That was pretty good. I fucked up, apparently.
Well, you realize that, I rarely am on a podcast anymore, so I've got to get my feistiness out.
Yeah, I guess you got to need an outlet. Anyways, it is time to wrap up the show with the 4-player minute.
Oh, shit.
It sounds like Brad is ready. We're going to say our hype, our sweat, our fuck you, and our thank you of the week. Brad sounds like he's ready to start us off.
I'm going to start with my sweat. That's this new Kickstarter. Maybe we could talk about that in the news. Red Ash. Inafune and concept is basically doing a spiritual successor to Mega Man Legends. And that's on Kickstarter. It's doing fairly well. But my concern is just Inafune and concept in general. There's a lot of concern about this man, and he's
Him being more of a businessman than a developer.
Didn't Kamiya say that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, Kamiya was talking
Yeah,
mad
Kamiya
shit.
took a shot at him.
Yeah,
That was a jab.
It was rough.
Right in the balls, too.
but
He said he wasn't a creator or something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
He's a businessman, not a creator.
I don't know if this. I mean, I hope this game comes together. I mean, a Mega Man Legends game is a much more ambitious project than Mighty Number 9, and Mighty Number 9 doesn't even look all that interesting.
See, I would have disagreed with Kamiya's tweet until I heard about the live action Mighty Number 9 film.
Yeah.
Ugh. How could that? They're making that?
Yes, that is a
They're
thing.
talking
and it
about
is
it.
happening.
That is ridiculous. The game's not even out
Kamiya
yet.
was talking shit about Mighty Number 9 just being a copy of Mega Man.
Which I don't think that's honestly fair. Because, I mean, he is providing a product that everybody wants to play. Everybody wants a new fucking Mega Man game.
I mean, that's true.
So
It's
he's
not like
providing.
people are making Mega Man games, so what are you going to do? But I mean, that's how these
I
Kickstarters
think
are
that kinda-
successful. They don't get money unless they appeal to nostalgia.
They
you
build
know?
on nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's not like Inafune has, fucking Microsoft throwing him all kinds of money to make his own unique thing like Kamiya gets. It's hard out there for a pimp, I guess. I don't know.
Especially when your studio's making 5 fucking games at once.
Yeah, I don't know. My fuck you for the week goes to Splatoon. It goes to Nintendo for still putting lives in their games. It was a really cool final boss fight, but it's so antiquated to have like a live system. Like, oh, you died 3 times, start the whole thing over. Especially when the boss fight takes 30 fucking minutes. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's artificial difficulty. It comes from the days of arcades where you put quarters in the machine. When you ran out of all your lives, you don't have to do that to make a game challenging anymore. Dark Souls doesn't need fucking a live system, to make their games difficult. You can bounce around it. It's just so frustrating. I hate it. I fucking hate it. Yeah, other than that, the boss is pretty cool. My hype goes to the rest. We're about halfway done with this year of video games. I'm just hyped for the rest of the year because it has already been a great fucking year for games, and it seems like there's going to be a lot of really great games coming out soon. Even in August, this is when the shit starts. It's going to be crazy. I was trying to look it up, but my phone doesn't work. There's something in August that I'm excited about, but who knows what it is. And my thank you goes to all the lovely people who have gifted me all these lovely games recently. I know MGS gifted me a copy of Trails in the Sky for PC, and Chroma Squad was gifted to me by Urban Hitman, and Chroma Squad's a game.
Did you play a lot of that?
No, I didn't play a lot of it, which is why I didn't talk about it on the podcast. I only played about an hour of it.
I really want to try that.
It's cool. I mean, I have it, so you can try it.
I
And
think it's right up your alley.
everyone else who gifted me cool games like Distance and stuff, I'm gonna get to those eventually, but it's hard to find time when you surprise me with a game that I gotta finish The Witcher and stuff. But yeah. That's my 4-player minute.
All right, Krispy.
So this week I'm laying down 4 hypes because I'm hyped as shit. Hype number 1. I still haven't played the newest episode of Tales of the Borderlands.
I'm dropping the ball on all these episodic games. What is
it's been a few weeks since that came out. I think because it came out the same week that Batman did.
You know what, motherfucker? What about Life is Strange? You were like the biggest proponent of that game.
I was
and
the
now you're
one
not
who
even-
wasn't completely shitting on it. That's what I was.
So why don't you play the other games?
I will find time for it if you guys want to see more Life is Strange. But I definitely want to play more Tales of the Borderlands. I will be playing that tomorrow night, actually. And with any luck, Chris Davis will be able to help me get my new capture card set up tomorrow.
Can't be done.
So tomorrow will be my inaugural
Dinosaurs.
capture card. Well, I'm going to play fucking... Well, that's supposed to be a Let's Play.
Yeah, that's going to be a Let's Play.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Ew.
I'm going to be playing Tales of the Borderlands tomorrow, and I'm fucking excited because that series has been going really strong. My next hype is for fucking No Man's Sky because that shit looks so cash. I can't wait.
Man, I hope you love it. I do, man.
Fuck you.
It'd be so.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you. The week goes to Brad Simons.
My next hype goes to Fallout 4. I think you know why. That shit looks great. Can't fucking wait. I wake up in the middle of the night with erections thinking about that game. My last hype.
I wake up in the middle of the night with erections, not because of that.
I wake up in the middle of the night with erections, and it's awkward, so I make them go away by thinking about No Man's Sky.
It's not because when you look at the vast void of planets and stars, your dick goes limp knowing how small you are in comparison. Is that what it is? And my last hype goes to Metal Gear Solid 5 because that fucking rocket punch shit was fucking dope. That was crazy. Can't wait to do that.
As much as I want this little tiff to keep going, we need to pick it up. Chris Davis.
Well, this week I have a hype, 2 sweats, and a thank you.
Sorry, SMG in chat says, Brad, I hope you hate it. Crispy, fuck you, Brad. Brad, I hope you like it. I truly do. Crispy, fuck you. I'm sorry, that's too good.
This week I have a hype, 2 sweats, and a thank you. My hype and my first sweat are one and the same because the new Godzilla game comes out next week.
Oh my god!
I am super hyped for that. But my sweat comes from the fact that I promised a series of Let's Play videos about various different Godzilla games, like 9 of them. And I've only gotten through like 3 of the games. And so the rest are going to be like one-shot episodes, but I've got to start barreling through them real fast if I want to.
Are you really going to try and get through all of them before this Godzilla game?
I don't think I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to try and get it done before the review video's out.
How bad are these games?
There are some poopy ones.
Okay.
There are poopy ones, and there's little weird ones, but they all have hope assigned to them. My second sweat. I'm looking at all the games that are coming out this year, and I want to. I could get whatever system I want for a game. I've got a good enough PC, I've got a PS4, and I've got an Xbox. Problem is, I want to be able to choose games that I can actually play with people, like with the community, and I don't know which versions to buy. So I'm going to be starting up a thread in the community forums, probably either tomorrow or Thursday, hopefully, if I remember, asking just people where are you going to get these games for what system? So
where are you playing these things?
Where are you playing Battlefront? Where are you playing? I don't know, things like that. I'd like to know what y'all are getting and where y'all are doing it, so maybe we can plan some community nights and things like that. So
play Rocket League on PS4.
Dude, I've heard good things about that.
That shit is so much fun. I fucking love Rocket League.
Maybe you should play some.
That should have been an Impressions.
Well, we already talked about it. I haven't played it anymore since the beta.
We haven't talked about it.
We talked about it
back in the
months ago when it was in beta.
Oh.
I'm going to go play some more, and then I will report back next week.
You glad it's free?
I am. Like, dude, that was like...
Yeah, I'm excited.
That was like fucking... yeah.
Oh my god.
And my thank you goes to Nolan for not being here so I can actually be on a fucking podcast. Nick, it's down to you, sir.
All right. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna start with my my fuck you of the week goes to
Konami.
PCs in general. Fuck them. Fuck everything about them.
You gotta be a tinkerer, You gotta.
I'm not a tinkerer. Why do you think I
gotta learn? You gotta learn to be one.
That's the okay. I feel like I'm being forced into PC gaming, and people are like, when I don't like it, people are like, you need to learn to tinker. And I'm like, I don't want. The whole reason I've been playing console games is because I don't like this part of the whole process.
I didn't say you have to learn to tinker. I say you gotta like to tinker. If you
I don't.
That's why you don't like.
I don't like to tinker with PCs, to be totally honest. I really don't. I had to reformat my C drive on my computer to try and figure out what the fuck was wrong with my OBS, which was crashing. What are you over there saying, Chris Davis?
Nier is saying that I didn't want to play with the community because Battlefront was boring. When the fuck did I say that?
specifically
What is
remember
wrong
those-
with you?
I remember those words leaving your mouth.
I do.
What?
Hey, this is my 4-player minute.
Fine.
I'm
okay.
not done bitching
Nah,
about
Continue.
PCs.
I'm just stirring the pot.
I'm not done bitching about PCs. I had to reformat and reinstall Windows to try and fix my problem with OBS, and it seems like it's fixed, but now the game is crashing.
You were having that problem before, though.
No, this is a different crash. I'm getting a different error.
This is a new, different problem.
I had to post in the forums at the fucking support site.
get a
to try-
response?
I'm glad you
I got
finally did
one
that.
saying, "Hey, can you post the log?" And then I never got a response after I posted the log.
Bump the thread if you don't hear anything. about
I
it.
will.
bump it.
I'm saying I hate the fact that I even have to do all this shit. It's annoying. Anyways, I'll get it working, whatever. It's just annoying, and this is why I just tend to gravitate towards console gaming, and that's my frustration of the week, or my fuck you of the week. My thank you this week goes to Urban Hitman for gifting me a copy of
Nice.
I wanted to call it Incognito.
Oh,
Invisible Ink.
Oh, you
Damn
got
it.
invisible
For my-
ink.
damn it! I want to play that so bad, but you're not my Steam friend because
my-
you're a jerk.
He got it for me for my birthday, which is awesome. Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to playing that. I've
Hey,
been
Nick,
talking about it for a
Would
while.
you like to be my Steam friend?
No,
We're all
Moving
Steam
on.
friends, but you.
I know because I don't share my shit. I'm just kidding.
It's digital.
Oops.
Damn it! It's digital.
I know. I hate it. Don't remind me.
You don't have to loan it out.
He hates digital so much that he doesn't want to even partake in the benefits of the
Well,
format.
motherfucker, no one here has played Invisible Ink, so I want you to actually fucking
am
play
going
it
to
because
play
I'm
it.
curious.
I am going to play it. And my hype and sweat both go to the same thing this week. I am house hunting, and I made an offer on a home today, the first in my entire life, and I'm scared shitless.
That's not a video game.
No, it's not.
But
Is that like Sims? Or?
it is stressful as fuck.
Well, can you describe
No.
how much you offered and
No,
and what
I
it
cannot
was?
do that.
Why
I'm
not?
just saying.
What's
it's
the
a-
area
You can't
code?
say one
It's-
bedroom, one bath, 1,200 square feet.
It is a stressful process. I'm
Wait,
just
is
gonna
it
say
a one
that.
Betty?
I'm not telling you any of this until
What?
it's,
Why?
maybe after it's done, if I have it.
Well, it's
I'm
just.
trying to
Nick
get my
bought
hopes
a
up.
log cabin.
I'm just trying not to get my
Oh
hopes
my
up.
god! It's
A
an
houseboat. You got a
efficiency, isn't
houseboat.
it?
It's a studio apartment.
No,
Oh, he's gonna be
It's a
living in an
condo.
old caboose.
it's a condo. You turds.
So 400 square feet. Okay.
If you want, no, definitely not. If you want a gaming related hype, I'm excited to play Dark Souls on my PC if it fucking lets me.
Dude.
Fuck you,
Look, man.
Because
PC.
that's gonna run perfectly.
yeah. You ever heard of DS Fix?
Yeah,
gonna.
you better look it up.
You ever heard of the PS3? I have.
Take that, computers.
I give up.
Nick, we love you, and we just want you to have fun.
I've had the past 3 months of anything having to do with my PC and broadcasting has been an absolute fucking nightmare.
Well, we know who's responsible though, and we will hunt him down.
You.
What?
you
no.
said-
You
said-
built this thing.
you
You
said
built
thr-
this monstrosity.
You said 3 months, dude. I've put up with so much shit over the years and years
Yet-
trying to get this thing kickstarted.
Yet nobody seems to know how to fix my problem.
Well, I have not been at your house once since you had that
I've
problem.
asked you to come to my house several times.
you
and
live in another state.
Oh my god,
Another
Brad.
state.
If I can make
Oklahoma.
You
if
do
I
live
can
in
make the
Dallas.
drive down here, if I can make the drive to your house every single week for fucking 4
got a point,
years.
'cause
but
you
that's
live
so
in
you
San
can be on
Antonio.
a podcast that you host.
All right, how about this? Why don't after I get this condo, I'll have a room for it. Why don't we do the podcast over there, Brad?
We can
Hey,
do that.
I
Care
got
to
an idea.
comment?
Why don't we do the podcast at the only apartment that's actually in Austin?
Wait,
mine.
I'm in Austin.
Mine's
No, you're in fucking San Antonio. You're in Dallas. You're in Mexico.
Wait, what? Wait, then what was Nolan? I have to know. What was Nolan?
Dude, it was Nolan. Where does he even live? I don't even know. He just is on the road.
Well, he's in between homes right now.
He's homeless.
This is not a very far drive for you.
It's not, but I live in South Austin, so.
Well, at least there's
Fuck
parking.
all of you. Anyways, my
good
fuck
thing-
you of the week goes to everyone in this room. This has been a
Including
very
yourself.
weird, eccentric, loud podcast.
You know, if
I hope
we
you
did
enjoyed it.
If we did it at Nick's, then we could go up there for dinner times, and there's a bunch of good places to eat.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
There's
like
no
Rick's
fuego.
Cabaret.
There's no fuego.
We
But
could
Nolan
go-
betrayed all of us by just leaving and just ditching fuego.
There is
You
the
son
Noble
of a
Sandwich
bitch.
Company, though. Noble Sandwich
I
Company.
am ending this
He should have
podcast.
gotten a job.
I am
at
ending this
Fuego.
podcast right now. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a weird one. But we'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Tuesday night on 4pp.tv. Of course, you can also find us on SoundCloud. now. If you hate iTunes, if you just fucking hate iTunes, which I know a lot of you do.
Fuck iTunes.
Fuck iTunes. I'm sorry. I love iTunes, kind of.
Fuck iTunes.
But if you're of the mindset of fuck iTunes, you can find us on SoundCloud as well. I release the podcast day and date on both platforms, so you can subscribe on either one.
And
It's
you can also
SoundCloud.com/4pp. That simple. Check it out.
And you can also check out this very podcast recording live on YouTube, or recorded on YouTube.
Record it on Twitch, post it on YouTube. Get your shit together, Chris. I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm feeling very feisty today. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's
11 strikes.
Yeah. 11 strikes.
We all got our blood up.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening.
It's hot in here.
It's hot in here. We're leaving. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
4playernetwork.com.